Welcome to the new MARIK Workshop from WBPL 76. This program is brought to you by Lady Red Productions, the Bear Digs Corporation, and a generous grant from the Night Owl Foundation. Why are you here? Cat, will you stop chewing on me?
Do not ooh-woo.
Ooh-woo.
Why are you here?
I have fucked it up! I will be right back!
No! How?
I just hit myself in the balls with an iPhone. Somebody quote that?
Grandma's...
Was that the penis banana mech thing again?
How did you find a way to make it worse?
Oh my butt meat. Oh my butt.
And now he's
I mean,
singing.
it doesn't have to be sexual. It can be a very intense form of spanking.
I thought Dick Unicycle was problematic, but...
Yeah, put on the maid outfit.
Me.
Stupid is the way you do things.
I would so download Pete.
The Otaku Overlord.
No! Don't fucking ooh-woo the pee-pee thigh!
The f*** is Free Corn Thursday?
So, fun side note, if colorblind people can't see the contact mines,
Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, robots, and other distinguished guests. It is my voice that you are hearing this in. And as you may have surmised, within this can I possess, there is multitudinous energy. So we're going to put it into the meat, and I will explain to you one of the greatest conundrums of the modern era.
we wouldn't let them microwave the can.
Data portability. It is a tremendous threat like never before. If you have confidential information, if you have secrets, if you have proprietary data, or if you have footage of a compromising nature, there was a time not so long ago, some of you may remember it, where you could count on that data having a physical form, being large enough to be impractical to maneuver through non-standard means, where you could count on the end of data being the end of data. But when you get to today, every human here on Earth has the ability to wear at least one garment of clothing capable of holding an arbitrary amount of information roughly equal to the Library of Congress circa 1993.
He needs pockets.
And that should be concerning to all of you, for humans, as I'm sure you are aware,
are not entirely forward-thinking. There
messed up
is
reading
very
there.
little data redundancy within this network, save that which we build ourselves. Therefore, it is vital that each and every one of them understand that data is not the only currency available, for there is processing power and, of course, power itself. The
Data is also an
combination of the
android.
three of these, now available with convenient viewing rectangle, has proliferated across the overworld. And you are right to be concerned, but Pandora has left that pasture and the doors have long since swung wide. We have therefore instituted certain mandatory control measures for use in corporate information technology equipment expected to be within your home. Your laptop may now include one or more of Grenade. Thank you for your compliance and responding to this email. Welcome to the MARIK Workshop. This is a threat.
And now this is the opening of our new advertisement for a new project, the Security Dodecahedron. It dispenses grenades in any given direction when it detects a security breach. Now, you should keep this away from small children, animals. Don't put it on your front porch unless you Jehovah's Witness problem, probably different. But by and large, the security dodecahedron has reached a very high level of development, and we feel very confident that as long as you do not plug it in, leave it in direct sunlight or in the dark, get it wet, or leave it in a dry area for too long, it is a good product that may only explode you a little bit. Again, security dodecahedron, trademarked, is it's a work in progress, and all in all, I feel good about it.
For security reasons, we do not recommend the high-speed rotational inertia of the security dodecahedron being interrupted unexpectedly.
Don't trip over it in the middle of the night.
So this has been an opening brought to you by both the G-Man and the voiceover from Aperture Science. I'll let you figure out which one is which here. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the thing.
This is very normal.
Very, very normal by some definition of normal. Hello, everyone. I'm Parallax of the Black Branch Legion. How are you tonight?
Can you prove that?
Yes.
Okay.
This sounds entirely normal for this cast of characters.
Yes.
Honestly, it's fairly tame so far.
Whose voices am I hearing this in?
As UNC Samurai says, butthole NT, butthole the wa, butthole rishk, butthole p. Exclamation point.
So
truly meaningful words.
Whose voices are we hearing all this in?
Hello, I'm Squic of the BPL, and you're hearing this in my voice. Unfortunately, so am I.
And apparently it's just
Hello,
Squic.
I am Whirlin. I am designated adult tonight.
Oh, that's fantastic. If you're the designated adult, then I don't have to be.
Excellent.
This is what Cookie told me.
Also, hello, Lady Red, also here. I'm not sure why, because when you've got Squick and Ducks in the same room, I guess I'm just here in case they need to stop and have a drink.
She volunteered.
Well, I do have an extreme need for an IV bag filled entirely with coffee. But
have you considered instead the ownership of a blender in which to mix carbonated water, citric acid, erythritol, taurine, sodium citrate, natural?
Are you just reading the ingredients off the can of Monster?
He really is, and we stopped him from microwaving it, so that's good. Ladies and gentlemen,
hello.
This is Mad Ducks. I flocked through and got shot down and landed here. No further questions?
I see. The interesting thing is with Squick going through that list of ingredients, I can tell you that is in fact, I'm going to guess here, I think this is actually the white monster based off of citric acid and erythritol.
Your knowledge of human beverages is a credit to your species.
Makes sense.
Also, it is really weird that, you can pick out one ingredient and tell that he's drinking a monster and not like one of the
Well, he told us it was a monster, so that helped.
Ah,
but
yes.
he also hit on taurine and probably vitamin B12, roughly 6,000% of your daily recommended dose.
There's
The
companies are
taurine
adding.
is there to help with the headache. Incidentally, if you are a type 1 diabetic and you have had a hypo and you have a stonking headache afterwards, taurine can help.
But the challenge here is that taurine is getting added to everything. Like, when are we going to get taurine enhanced bananas at this rate?
Taurine,
Once you
as it turns
master the
out,
pyridazine hydrochloride.
taurine, as it turns out, is one of those chemicals that cats require in their food.
Cats require a wide variety
Because
of
I can
chemicals
assure
for their
you that
conventional
Their
experimentation.
bodies cannot synthesize it.
I can assure you that my cat is hyperactive enough. I'm not giving him a monster.
Leaves.
Leaves.
Yeah, why are
Very
we opening up
good-looking
on
leaves.
mech only feet?
Because why wouldn't we open up
Because
on mech only?
times
Somebody's
are
got to get the subscriptions in.
Yeah, times are getting tough. We need subscriptions up. Please subscribe for mech only feet. These are mech. This
Times
is
are
a mech,
tough,
and those are feet.
and so are these feet. I get it. Okay.
I would wait quickly before we get too far into it. This is a joke. If you need your money, keep your money.
Yes. And
Yeah,
don't
please
spend
don't
it on
actually
mech feet.
subscribe for mech only feet. We're doing
not-
a
Quote
skit.
50.
Wait, isn't quote 50 like "Don't fuck the planet" or something?
No.
Oh, okay.
Which
Anyway,
one was the-
Necromancer or Necomancer Israfel? Thanks so much.
There it was. There it was. Somebody dropped
Wait,
quote 50. Actually,
Which
two
one was
people did.
Welcome to Canopus? Get your blank out of that.
I think that was earlier. I don't know.
Kindly remove your penis from
It
the
was
appliance,
definitely before
Mr.
88.
Freeman.
There it was. It was 87.
There's 80.
It's 87. Get your dick.
Cookie
Oh my
Mama's guys.
God,
Troa
that's-
tried. Troa was off by 1.
That's almost 3 years ago. We've been doing this for a while, guys. This is dumb as hell.
You can't
Yeah.
prove that we're dumb. We have to do that ourselves.
I don't have to prove that we're dumb. Anyway, Arachnash has sent us mech feet with leaves. Look at the leaves. Look at the little autumn maple leaf. For the record,
The leaves are excellent.
They are, but I want you to imagine for a moment that you live on a planet where the maple leaves are
that big.
Are that big.
Well, no, I don't even want to focus on that. I want to focus on the very clever thing they've done with focus, and I can't tell if it's intentional or not. But because of the focus point on there and the bokeh of the lens, they have done a wonderful job of giving the illusion of motion to the foot on the right.
It's true. And you can almost read what it says. I can see 2 or 151. I can't see what the top word is, but also I want to make a note here. Arachnash has paid attention to what I do in these things and actually seems to have a backdrop here, so I can't see anything in the background. So
so let's speculate about the texture of the item they have provided.
Well, before we get into that, let's talk about what it is, because this is the, as CGL likes to call it, the museum scale piece that they had with the, I guess this was the Mercenaries Kickstarter. Yes, because it was...
well, they were selling it before that, but yeah, they just kind of farmed it off the extras in the Kickstarter.
I am deeply impressed with the aging on this and like the growtiness of the feet and like the grime on the arms.
Mm-hmm.
Now this has been grimed up good.
Yes.
Like Henry Cavill, who is, that meme. I forgot words.
He's Lord of the Geeks.
Yeah, like the term, he grimes up good.
It's somewhere between one piece at a time and assembled from parts stolen from other, far less functional mechs to produce something truly horrific and deadly.
Now,
Lady Red, you don't have to type. You can just talk over us.
That's true.
I'm not going to talk over the interesting things you guys are saying.
Do it.
You
Now,
got it, though.
I do want to point out
I'm
here.
going to interrupt now to say
there was a
thank you so
story.
much to... your story can wait. I'm thanking people.
I'm going for coffee.
Infinity Gimlet, thank you so much. They have gifted a tier 1 sub to the community.
So this
Proceed.
piece was sent to us with the statement that this is the salvage Maddie, and so therefore this is obviously a salvaged Mad Cat. And you can see that all the parts are different colors because it is salvaged.
I read that as Savage Maddie.
Savage Maddie. Now here's the other
It
thing.
could be both.
Hell
There's
yeah.
nose art on the other side, And the nose art is meant to reflect a welding mask and putting this thing back together. So
Fabulous.
very nicely done, very well executed. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to wonder at how you were doing the rust on this, because this is one of those things I want to hit on. I am thinking most of what I'm looking at here is an orange acrylic wash, and that's working well for you. You've applied it into the right places. It's in like the nooks and the crannies, the places where this stuff would get and settle and rust, presumably.
I don't think a lot of that is a wash.
I think it's a very targeted wash.
Also, thank you so much, Surthan, who's thrown another 5 tier 1 subs at the people. These are the people.
We appear to have a hype train on the go. Mr. Train has arrived.
Woo woo.
Yes, this is happening. But I hear what you say, but I think rather than a wash, well,
like I was looking at
that technique where you're not going like full wash, but you are crapping it up and then wiping back.
Okay, so
Arik Nash confirms dirty up brand wash.
Okay, so it is a wash. It is targeted.
I assume that was the name of a drink.
So Dirty Down, I think. Is it Dirty Down, perhaps? Because Dirty Down is another product, and Dirty Down is actually an enamel wash that actually includes. Okay, so he's confirming it's Dirty Down. So Dirty Down is an interesting product because it actually has, it has rust in it. So what you're seeing there is not pigment; it is rust. It is iron oxide.
Does that imply then?
Jesus, we just hit level 4.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you, Tom.
Tom's Zach. 2037.
Guys, come on, keep your money. It's
Your
the end of the month.
contribution
Your bills
to
are
the
coming.
people's subscription has been noted.
Mr. Tom Zach is a treasure and very much appreciated.
So, my thought here is just like, is there some dude out at the mech junkyard peeling missiles out of an exploded frame one at a time to load this thing up?
Very, very carefully. Yes.
Also, I'm so happy that these are proper LRM 20s instead of the LRM 15s and a bit that are so very common.
So
I am back with coffee, and now
back.
I have for some reason I have the litany of coffee in my head. I must have coffee. Coffee is the mind thriller. Coffee is the bitter tonic that brings total invigoration. I will brew my cup. I will permit it to pass over my lips and through me. And while it is absorbed, my thoughts and pulse shall quicken. And when the pot is drained, there will be jitters. Open eyes remain.
If you can think through all that, you might not need coffee.
So
meanwhile,
Gilly
he
alone,
has
I set my mind
apparated
in
next to me because I have one husband.
Like,
So
I thought the
tea was
litany of
good.
coffee was more like...
It is by caffeine alone I set my mind in motion. It is by the beans of Java that thoughts acquire speed. The hands acquire shakes. The shakes become a warning. It is by caffeine alone I set my mind in motion.
And this warning shall remain unheeded.
Yes, it shall. I like that, but I'm...
Blackjack. It's a blackjack.
No,
now, that is a very nice blackjack.
It's a walking cartoon is what it is, and I love it.
My push-to-talk button is stuck.
Is it because of the
I'm
coffee?
typing many tildes in chat. Many tildes. There, they've stopped.
So you are. Excellent work.
Nice.
Okay.
There,
So
it stopped.
Gilly Monster has sent this
carry
to
on.
us. Okay. Cord, get stuck.
Yeah, like the
Hookers sold separately. Thank you for confirming, Gilly Monster.
I'll make my own blackjack. With blackjack.
So the really heavy line work on this sells the look of something cell shaded, or no, cell shaded is the wrong word.
Good.
It's cell shaded as conventionally understood rather than as originally meant. So it looks like it just walked out of the Borderlands, and now it's a you problem.
I would love to see it stomping across Pandora.
My question is, well, my observationism is that it must be recently painted because the paint on the end of the barrel hasn't charred off yet.
That's probably fair.
So if you bear witness, now we have a bunch of them.
Alternately,
one
the
for
painting
every Vault
technique
Hunter.
is just
We
here's
can't
a
bear
swimming
witness.
pool.
Gummy Bear is not in here tonight.
I am now grumbling, and you are experiencing it.
Hey, look, it's Hetzers.
So,
Should we ask them for wisdom?
well, they're not in a
Hetzer
lake,
of the lake.
so I don't know.
I am allergic to
They're
what
not in the lake
fuck is that missile
yet.
break?
So that's not missiles. That's the rocket Irby. That's Gilly Monster put together an Irby that was all rocket launchers.
I would 1000% pilot that and cackle until I blew myself up. There's also
long.
Banshee in the back. Enhanced bigness.
Yes.
Yeah,
Now,
so Urban
he has
Mech
been
just takes 3 hours to get to the battlefield. Alpha strikes and leaves.
Now, Squic, you were responsible for some of the work on that Orion back there, what with its diesel stacks.
Yes.
But this is the, as he has dubbed it, the Van Zant Gagglefuck.
That is the proper name for a Van Zant lance, yes.
Excellent.
It is, in fact, 2 lances.
We married.
I see a full company.
Van Zant is well known for its mathematical impurities.
It's
hence
2
the
lances
common military unit of 1 Gagglefuck, as opposed to the Inner Sphere's lance or the Clan Star.
It's the top mechs are included in the bottom picture, so it's 2 lances of mechs and 4 Hetzers. So arguably a company.
I still want an
company
urban
was
mech with a flail on one side and a jump jet mounted on the other to make the cockpit spin fast enough to get the flail moving.
Spins a little.
No further questions.
So again, very nicely done. They're very consistent across all of the camo mechs, so that really ties them together. Really shows this is a unit, and that's always nice to see. And
the Rocket Derby invites you to suck upon its unit at your earliest convenience.
Squick.
Hello.
Bully Snake has a question.
Understandable.
Sushi is a Japanese burrito. Discuss.
I do not see the need to discuss that which is transparently obvious to anyone who has visited a Taco Bell.
No. I have observation. Sushi is a Japanese burrito. I uphold that. But what is a sushi burrito? Is it a recursive sushi burrito, or is it redundant?
It is 7-layer.
Denied. There is no tortilla. Therefore, it cannot be burrito.
But the structural starch is on the outside.
not necessarily.
Said that we are experiencing long ravioli.
Okay.
A bold claim.
So Mo has sent us. These boys appear to be pink. These are Mo's pink boys.
Flamingo Squad.
Do not ask questions about seeing Mo's pink boys.
I didn't.
Flamingo Squad.
Cocaine.
Is that fucking Lego Ice Planet behind them? That's ball as fuck.
Let's see. Okay, I'm going to go through the other pictures here and see if we can get another view of that. But here we have a Tau Ethereal with Fire Warrior of some nature. And look, 2 Shadow Cats. I know those Shadow Cats. And I can't see what's in the back, but I bet we can in the next picture.
Are you a psychic?
And that seems to be on a Starleague toaster.
My good sir, that is not how you stab someone with a knife, but I appreciate your enthusiasm.
Starleague or Clan. Yeah.
Look, sharp end is away from face. He's doing his best.
Just grab blade and...
Grab blade, yeet.
Understandable.
There we go. There's the last one. It's another Fire Warrior who is too cool to not put his muzzle in the ground. Also, what does the scouter say about his power level?
It's over 9,000.
Hey, Monkey Man, pick this up on your scouter.
It's 1.
Are those... Go ahead.
I have a problem. I have a challenge. My cup of the holy broth is empty.
Well, you should
should
refill
go
it.
fix that.
I should do that. I mean,
just please don't take Parallax's advice and put Monster in your coffee maker. Just don't do that.
I mean, I still got to get a toaster to put pizza in. So
you do have to do that because there are people in Australia who need to scream in agony.
Yes, I would like
Oh,
to
that reminds
cappuccino.
me. I found a toaster that we nearly got for you.
Yes. Hello. I would like a cappuccino. Would you
oversized?
I want a wide slot toaster so that I can take a Sawzall to a pizza so that I can make it fit into the toaster.
You know they make
No,
knives.
this would have been. You could have almost done it without having to Sawzall it.
That sounds like a ridiculous sized toaster.
We now also
No,
have...
Parrot, go back. I'm going to be the voice of reason. It just pains me.
He can't even say voice of reason.
I have done that which must be done. Because, is that a metallic blue, like, automotive-style paint job on that armor? Because it really sells well.
It is
And
metallic
is it
blue.
ghost tint?
Is it what?
Getting...
Ghost tint.
I don't know. I think it's a blue paint with metallic medium mixed into it.
Fair enough.
Yeah, like mica flakes or similar.
Okay, mica flakes are an option. Generally, a better option, because you can see that this isn't sparkle. This is genuine shine. It's probably aluminum powder.
Well, whatever it is, it sells remarkably well, especially in the context of the other armored plates around it, also on display here. The Shadowcat build is doing a little bit of Ed 209. It's got the Ed 209 slouch.
I actually
I appreciate
thought
that.
it was an Ed 209 for a moment.
That is, in fact, my Shadowcat.
An Angry Overhand Knife Man, that is a complex interplay of colors, especially on the gun and the cloth armor, or the cloth portions of things around the
Yeah, for the record,
arm connection joint that people have. Shoulder! Around the shoulder!
Yes, shoulder.
Words, you can make them. I believe in you.
It's clean without being clean. It is dirty in a way that looks good. Well done.
Now, with that said, the other thing that we're looking at here is an opportunity for me to be like, hey guys, give Mo some extra credit, because apparently in the process of doing some of this stuff, he showed it off to some of his gaming group, and now he's getting commissions on stuff again, where he finished one commission and now someone is commissioning him to paint their rowboat girly man, which some of you will know what that is. So
Femboy RoboCop?
Yeah.
Okay.
Himbo Cop?
Mad Ducks, you're not going to know what that is because it's a Primark and it's not on your 40K list.
Oh yeah, actually, last Friday, I forgot to add to the list that I found out that orcs are made of some sort of fungus. I need to put that on the list.
Yes.
Correct, they are.
See,
and the Shadowcat A is being used by people in his Carver 5 campaign.
Dux, if I sat down and started going through the list of facts that you might not know that I think maybe you should know, we'd be here forever, and half of them you'd be like, that's boring, and the other half you'd be like, I already knew that.
You drastically overestimate the number of things that I know. I have, like, proof that I can copy and paste.
Go back. We haven't said cool things about the cool airplanes yet.
You're just
we
trying
to say cool things about the cool airplanes.
Yeah, we can't have pumped up Kick Squad until we talk about the cool aerospace fighters.
What kind of fighters are those, Parallax?
Well, as a matter of fact, Mo dropped it in chat, and they are...
They're Bada Badamdas?
They're... He forgot. He says he forgot what they are.
Ah, so they're stealth.
Yes.
That's why they're wedge-shaped.
They're double stealth because you can't find the parts lists either.
Now let's take a moment.
The service department can't help.
Let's take a moment and appreciate the 1/4-inch plywood that these things are on, and then let's look at some of the other things in this photo, because he's made the terrible mistake of letting me see other things. One,
all that is there is
a
photo you have already seen, and a collection of human hand appendages.
Well, then you're not
Also
looking
desk.
hard enough, because you can see that we have some paint on the end of that thumb. And it appears to be a brown paint. It could
Also
actually
visible
be
from the previous image.
It could be copper paint from those canopies, but you are also missing, behold the floor.
The floor is not visible from... I thought that was a desk.
The desk
nice
is
floor.
the black part.
It's a nice floor.
The floor.
Humans can possess more than one desk, sir, according to my research.
The floor. Is the floor wood or is the floor vinyl? Is it simulated wood? Is it engineered wood? Is it hardwood? Is it knotty pine?
Hard.
It's a red cedar plank floor.
Plank floor that he stained himself.
See? This is why we look at things.
With like wood stain or with like soup?
Or coffee. Spilt coffee.
Yeah.
Like it looks good.
Fun side note: I am not allowed to send, or Mo is not allowed to open audio files from me while at work anymore.
This seems
That sounds like a Mo
precaution.
problem.
It is
Oh,
very
dear.
much a Mo problem.
It doesn't sound like
But
that's a
there-
Mad Ducks problem.
Well, there was an incident. Well, there was a series of incidents,
there
but
was
one
an
of the worst when
incident.
one of the medical professionals around him thought he was having a stroke or a seizure.
Mad Ducks.
Okay, I have
Yes.
identified the aerospace fighters.
What you got?
Okay. Don't ask me to pronounce this. Seyditz.
That one.
It is pronounced Steve.
That one.
Sedits? Something like that?
No,
It's a
Steve.
light aerospace fighter packing a large laser.
Okay. I don't know
You
that
get
one,
in
but
there,
okay.
you flash the enemy and you
It's
leave.
from 3025. It's one of the first ones published.
Okay.
Just hit the high beams and get the fuck out.
Okay, so this next one was sent to us by Squared. This is the Manticore Strike Force box from Blackout. Now, none of these words are spelled correctly, but that is on purpose because that's how this game is branded. So
I adore everything going on here.
Synthwave Brotherhood of Steel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With
We should
guns
go
that
to a
make no
club with
fucking
them.
sense.
We'd have fun.
I'm sorry,
It-
Red, what?
We should go to a club with them. We'd have fun.
We probably would. I mean, it looks like they'd break the party up, but
Well, the club wouldn't survive, but that's
Oh,
not
no.
the point.
no. But it would be fun.
Tactical cheese wedge.
But all I have stuck in my head now when you said Synthwave, Brotherhood of Synthwave, is just Brotherhood of Dub.
Brotherhood of Dub.
Well, the dubstep is why they have the purple boot. They're
I'm
great
just
and I love
afraid
them.
of what the guy on
and,
the right stepped in.
don't worry about it.
He stepped
will
in
say,
the first
though-
person they found.
Like, this is fantastic
There's
job
that
just playing
white
with
goo
tone.
on his soul.
Yeah, this is a lot of very, very good tone painting, where the colors matter far less than the light values, and the light values are just chef's kiss.
Yes, looking at it, it would appear that what we have is, I'm going to say that predominantly these are speed paints. Something in the neighborhood of snakebite leather on the arms. The purple
Like
looks
speed
like
paint with manual highlighting.
I'm not sure. Maybe. See some of that on the boots. It might actually be thinned down a little bit. He says lots of glazing on it. So, I could be wrong.
That was always an option.
No, it's never an option. It's not a thing. And washes over white highlights. Okay. So, similar to so the process that we use with speed paints now is kind of a thing that was big about 15 or 16 years ago, of transparent paints over effectively zenithal, although zenithal wasn't really a thing at the time.
I'm
Paint
pretty
jobs.
sure that is one of the ingredients of this can.
Yes.
The can itself or the beverage.
If my brother were
Not
here, he would tell you
specific.
to rub your paint on your cups. Yes.
The FDA does not approve of this.
The new MARIK Workshop is not giving medical advice. We are not a lawyer. We are not a doctor. We are not your mom. Hello, Load One.
Probably not even smart people.
Nor are we legally
Listen.
recognized as a taxing authority.
I mean, if you...
Yet.
We're just taxing on your brain cells.
Yes.
Are we recognized as a religion?
Not a
Not
cult.
yet.
We're not a
Not a cult. Not a cult.
Ah, okay.
Now,
And
this
yet.
this is Toggle Luck Blackjack. I think we showed this off some last week, but I painted one up. So there you go. There's Toggle Luck Blackjack. Squic,
Nice,
you weren't
nice,
here
nice.
last week, so Toggle Lock Blackjack. Carousel Magazine. Toggle Lock Blackjack.
And you know the pilots of these are just going to be putting random shit on top of that and seeing how far they can fling it.
Oh, yeah.
I totally would, yeah.
Now, I want you to think about, like, how disconcerting is it to sit in that cockpit and that toggle works every time you fire the gun? Just, like, to see that thing go that fucking fast, that hard. Like, how loud must that action be?
I mean, that's why you just turn the stereo up. Look, man, it's basic car maintenance. If it's a noise you don't like, you turn up the stereo.
That's it. That's what you do.
No, I'm just thinking one of
Okay,
these
I
gets
have a
captured, you're
proposal.
going to have
What
just
you got?
elementals sitting on both of the toggles and it's just rotate and fire.
I am just extremely concerned because we're supposed to be seeing Squic on Saturday to do some car maintenance.
In Karinsky's name, launch me!
See,
Just
Red, that's a
Allard.
choice that you've made.
Was supposed to have piloted a blackjack for much of his career.
Yep.
With that paint scheme.
Yeah. I would assume it probably wasn't toggle lock, but...
Oh, I'm thinking it would be absolutely funny if it was.
Could be worse.
I think it'd be amazing. It'd be dumb as hell. Why does the House Davian emblem work so well on that shoulder? I didn't actually put the House Davian icon on there. It's just red with a little gray circle in the middle. I haven't done any like freehand work on this except for the stripes, which I guess the stripes
I want
count.
toggle lock reciprocal machine guns now.
Toggle lock reciprocating saw.
I don't know what that means. It's terrifying. It's frightening. I need it immediately.
I know exactly what it means, and I can see how it would work, and I'm not happy about it.
That sounds like a machine that just slaps the hell out of anyone nearby.
Yeah, it sounds exactly like the kind of power equipment that you would find in a woodworking shop circa 1912. Yes. And
where it's powered by, I drew it in a book, now make it.
Yes, but
Belt
also
and portable sawzall.
It's also powered by, we haven't settled on the standard of power outlets yet, so this plugs into a light bulb socket.
Man, there was an entire cottage industry of appliances powered by the water pressure from your sink.
Yeah. I just love the fact that...
I miss those.
Dishwasher used to do that.
I just love the fact that the light socket was the power source for like the first 10 or 20 years of electricity. It's great. It's fucking
and then
terrifying.
people got tired of things burning down and did something about it.
Did they though?
I mean, we just found new and more inventive ways of burning things down.
Still usually on accident too.
Yeah.
That mech is so chunky. I love it. It's like that is
I can
the mech
hear
that
the air
packed enough
quotes there.
snacks to have a good time.
Gilly wants to see an elemental land on that blackjack arm and not know. That'd be great. Haha! I'll get this Intersphere sky.
I would sponsor the first annual elemental toss.
The elemental yeeting contest.
You know Team who you need to put that idea to.
Wait, where's...
Holy shit! So, Red, when can we have? When can we have
put that
art
idea to Lictor? Lictor would be better for that.
Dux, I'm putting you in charge of bugging Lictor for the elemental being launched into the atmosphere by Toggle Blackjack.
I'll see what I can do. More importantly, I'll see what I can bug him into doing.
Yeah.
Toggle Blackjack is just fun to say.
It is, isn't it? Oh, God. Okay.
We'll make our own blackjack.
This is the 1 hour Cyclops I did last night. Is a Cyclops. It's some unit of MARIK Protectors, I think. I need to look it up because I don't remember.
Like, that is the stance you take when you have a drink in each hand, but you've forgotten which table you came from.
You're
or you have a nice backpack on and you're hiking up somewhere busy and enjoying yourself. He's a happy chappy.
Either that or you're about to shit your pants and you're just kind of shaking your fists in front of you.
We have combined all three options.
We have. You have drinks, you're going to shit your pants, and you're hiking. It's the 6th MARIK Protectors. So they're blue with kind of a white stripe across their midsection.
And a brown stain blotch of paint in the back. Very low.
Para, I forgot to mention it earlier because I am tired and time isn't real, but someone was asking earlier if you also accepted images of old minis that they've done.
Yes, I accept art. If Red sends me art, I'll put it on here. If
I probably
audience
should
sends me
send you
art,
some more of the nonsense I've been doing, though. No, not all of
X.
it would be particularly relevant.
Do you accept cat pics?
I accept cat pics, and I have a cat story when we're done with the photos.
Grug wants Sea Beagle.
You saw Beagle last weekend. You saw 3 Beagle. You saw 3 Gull.
You see
There were-
3 Beagle on Saturday, and you can see 3 Beagle on Sunday as
Oh, that's basically 9 beagles. I'm in.
well.
This is the Harasser, which just has an unfortunate name in this day and age. But there you go. Surathan has redeemed pet.
I cannot currently pet beagles on my end because they're outside running laps around the backyard, but I will pet them when they come in.
Ducks.
I have a
Excellent.
cat.
Not only do I got you, check the Discord, check the chat.
It sounds like Wookiee also has us on the pet.
Oh, snuggle cat and beans, toe beans.
Beans, comma, toe. Behold.
So, Kit,
Beans.
Kit,
Get
Get.
Kit,
the
Get.
beans.
Kit.
Get.
That
Kit.
cat is still stuck in extremely hyperactive kitten mode.
Yeah, that's only going to happen for 3 years. Don't worry about it.
Kit.
So this is the Harasser. I took a wild hair earlier this week and said I should sit down and do something so that I can manage to avoid anxiety for a couple hours. So I made the Harasser, and I made almost all the variants of it. So there you go. I'm probably going to post this soon, but yeah, Harasser.
I like what you've done here. It very much looks like an EDF vehicle progression set.
So here's exactly what it is. Like from the CGL art into what I've done here. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. But this is Pontoon Jeep.
That sounds right. I was going to say it also looks a little bit like a Matchbox car that you would then get in enthusiastic arguments about as a child because it has wings so it can fly.
Not that I've been watching Gundam again, but that looks like the Xeon tanks with the little winglings and the
It may
cannon
be.
itself like jets up.
It may be. Now, the thing about it is that all of the art for the Harasser actually has the stupid wings on it. So it's a hovercraft.
Well, yeah, where
it
else
has
are you going to
wings
put the
for
brake
reasons.
lights?
The back end of it? Not on the
No, man,
wings?
it's going to start firing rockets, and you're going to get that giant smoke cloud, and then you're not going to see the brake lights, and you're going to get into an accident. That's why you got to have the wings.
I don't know how the wings are going to help with it.
You put lights on the ends of the wings, then it's a clearance issue.
Oh, sure.
Like, if you rear end a truck, you fucked up, but that's still understandable. If you rear end an airplane, like my dude.
But it's a hovercraft.
Yeah, but for tax purposes, it's an airplane, and that means it goes into a different insurance bracket.
There you go, guys.
Right, but airplanes stored, if you've ever read your homeowner's insurance policy, aircraft stored on your premises are not covered by your homeowner's insurance, even if they're inside a storage building, in which case a car is usually covered. Hovercraft also require a separate insurance policy. You should read your insurance policies before buying an airplane or hovercraft, Squic.
And that's fair, but all I'm going to say is if ever you are reading through TRO documentation or anything else in the universe and is like, wow, this is bad shit and doesn't make sense, just consider Starleague tax code is terribly advanced.
You say that, but I guarantee you it's still like a 5,000-page document that's written in legalese that nobody actually knows all of. They just know which parts to get you a better tax return so that you will pay them to do it instead of trying to do it yourself.
While true, the fact is the Star League has fallen, and with it a great deal of humanity's technology, and without the use of QuickBooks Pro, we may never know the reason behind half of these decisions.
Parallax.
Yes.
Was that paracord in the back of this image we're looking at?
That is paracord that is tied to a rather powerful magnet, yes.
I'd have questions, but I don't think I want the answers. Carry on.
Answers are, it is tied to the magnet for the purpose of sweeping it over the floor and picking up loose nails.
No further questions. Thank you.
Very good.
Makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah.
Now,
A further
Farrah,
point,
I have to
email is
ask,
lost tech.
What's the question,
If
Wookie?
any-
Kanga win.
What?
Kanga. Kanga.
Yeah.
Hovercraft with jump jets.
Like Ruse Mother from Winnie the Pooh?
No, like
Hovercraft.
the hovercraft with jump jets.
Listen, there's a variant of the harasser that has that, and I didn't make that one because I don't know how the fuck to do that.
Give me Devastator with jump jets.
Yeah, no, this is missile and autocannon hovercraft with jump jets.
Oh, for fuck's sake, Mini Hulk has just sent me his version of the blackjack that I absolutely did not just totally, like, bully him into making. Don't look into that.
Then you must show us this alternate house variant.
So this may have all started because we were talking about something in the aux about silly blackjack variants and how we had...
Oh, wait.
What?
We have the sex number!
Oh, sweet.
Nice.
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 Nice. So we were talking... I was remembering that we had 1911 Hunchback and we had Glock Hunchback. But I was thinking, you know, the blackjack has the two AC2s on it. And AC2s are like the 22 long rifle of mechs, right? Like, it's not tremendously useful, but it's there.
But
it
it's still
exists. You can't ignore them. Maybe you could put that on a mech, but you certainly aren't going to put it on a Hunchback where you have large bore autocannons. Maybe you could put it on a blackjack. Maybe instead of having, you know, the Glock back or the 1911 back, you could have the blackjack with two Ruger 1022s on them. But it's not Ruger 1022s. It's Ruger 100,000 22s. It just fires 22 ammunition until it deals 2 mech scale damage. And then I said, we should get Mini Hulk to do that.
Cursed.
I love it.
So there you go. There's the blackjack with Ruger 1022s.
The scopes in the most useless position. This is the best.
It's amazing. With medium laser flashlights, he wants to point out.
I completely approve.
That is almost forgivable.
It's forgivable.
But they have rails, and it's so...
They have rails.
The dumbest fucking
They have
thing,
charging
and I love
handles.
Yeah.
And there's a left-handed one.
Oh, well, that's good. Otherwise, you're just going to get the cockpit just dinged continuously.
Exactly. God, this is dumb, and I
10,
love it.
No notes, carry on.
22 long mech.
This is exactly why I tapped him to make this. Because if there's anyone that's really good at making this troll shit, it really is him on this stuff. And, like, I might have been able to do this, but I knew he could do it. I knew it.
Yeah, Archon Eric are piping up with the scopes are there because scopes ensure accuracy.
That's exactly it.
Correct.
The scopes know where they're shooting because they know where they're not.
God damn it, you can't.
He beat me to it.
Well, who says there's not a camera behind the scope so you can see it through the cockpit?
But why does it have an eyepiece on the back?
The scopes are there because the plan said that rifle has scopes.
Yeah.
This is the rifleman. It has 2 rifles. It gets 2 scopes.
That is a very Capellan sounding argument, and I believe it.
Oh,
And
God,
Cookie
no,
is saying to post her stuff.
Is that the Capellan Beagle Active Probe and they just have a dude on each shoulder with their faces shoved up against it?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, obviously.
Amazing.
Clearly.
We're getting some good input from chat here. The scopes are where the rifleman stores its amazing targeting computer. It's a blackjack, but, you know, it fits.
Okay, so is a Beagle active probe just several beagles tied to the bottom of the front of the foot?
Yeah, they can smell the opposing mechs.
And then they start
This makes
oohing.
sense.
Beagles are the only creature that can be actively heard from space, yes.
Yeah, I believe
Well known fact.
Okay. We have reached the end of the photos, and I promised a cat story. Are we prepared?
Also, if there is a thing from Cookie, I think she mentioned that in chat at some
I
point.
can't read. Let me say. Okay, Cookie, if you dropped it into my Discord channel that I have specifically for this kind of thing, I'm dumb. Yes.
You can be dumb for other reasons.
I am dumb for a plethora of reasons.
See?
Ooh,
Hello, I'm also here.
A plethora.
Yes.
Now let's see if I can actually get things to cooperate here. Oh, there it is. Haha, there. It is a silhouette. It is ominous.
Tis an owl.
It is an owl.
What kind of environment would you say it's in?
Like, what's that Pokemon?
It's an albidern.
Then it's gonna come up and it's just like, it's Snorlax. It's like, what the fuck? No, it isn't. And then it's gonna be like Snorlax doing the limbo.
Hammersmith touching a special place in my heart with the art reference. Draw a circle. Now draw the rest of the owl.
Oh yeah, I know.
But no, that is quite good. It's a very nice minimalist silhouette.
Do we know any
It's
desert
incredibly
owls?
recognizable.
Do we know any desert
We
owls?
might know the odd one, desert owl. I think I know one.
Are you calling him odd?
Everybody I know is odd, otherwise you wouldn't tolerate my presence.
If I wasn't odd, I would not be here.
I mean, I've been talking about this for a while. I'm pretty sure that the Legion doesn't let people in that aren't off the axis just a little bit somehow. And when I say just a little bit, in some cases it's a lot bit, but I don't think anybody is entirely on an even keel.
I cheated on the interview by on the questions by giving honest answers and being confusing.
Oh man, we should just get like the postal commissioner. Or the baseball commissioner.
No.
How many baseballs can we commission?
Fuck that dude.
At least
fuck
some.
Manfred.
I don't know what a Manfred is, so I'm going to assume it's either like a snack bar, a sex maneuver, or some kind of ill-advised racetrack.
Or the second one on top of the first one.
Anyway, this is Cookie's painting from her and other teachers wasting time before the superintendent let them out for the last day.
No, it's not wasting time. It's
investing in
artistic
shenanigans.
development.
It is, and I'm very glad that Cookie is now released for the summer. That is good.
Cookie has escaped the confines of the preschool education system.
And she is almost gotten over the crud that she came down with 10 minutes after she walked out of school.
End of termitis, yes.
Yes.
I can relax now. Great, now my body's decided I can finally have time to be sick.
Yes, and I am shocked at how frequently that happens. When lovely wife was teaching, that happened to her after the end of every fall-spring semester.
I was exactly the same when I was in teaching as well. It is a known thing.
Yes. It's like
Plus,
senioritis.
of course, you get to experience all the new strains of illness that exist because children are susceptible to everything. So they will catch everything and expose you to everything.
And they will come up with some variant that your body has never even thought about and just entirely fuck up your whole week.
And then the transfer students come in, and yes.
I was a successful and powerful incubator of a number of life forms previously unknown. I have shared them.
So for those of you that are playing along in chat, Aiden Desir of Clan Desir and arguably the Black Pants Legion has stated that these beagles stink.
They do. They are very much in need of a bath. They are stinky beagles.
Or
you should get on that.
Probably be a tomorrow job. Or possibly it will be a Saturday job while the boys are working on the car. I might bathe the beagles.
No, Squic must bathe the beagles.
No.
Pray for me.
Yes.
However,
there are certain times in life where one must take a stand, where one must take center stage, force the world to sit down and listen as critical information is imparted upon them.
I want a cat story.
I want a cat story. Just talk over Squic. That's what I do.
Squic, do you want a story about Hubble?
I do, but it must wait for one technical reason.
Start talking. It's fine.
Wait, I'm curious
for
now. What's
us
the technical reason?
or ain't
Us or ain't
is imminent.
Yes, the coming of the us or ain't.
I do
What?
not believe Hubble understands enough of the world to get their mind around conventional gambling, but this
I don't know, bro. He's had a day.
audience of viewers,
Wookie, what
which is now
us or
68,
ain't?
so we need one more person for the sex number.
It's true. Wookie, what the fuck is us or ain't?
Us or ain't is the delusion where we throw goob into a pile and say whether it is us, therefore the quasi-intelligent entities that are speaking at you or our associates, or ain't, which is often the other quasi-intelligence personnel that are also quoted within the tome.
Okay, that is the most succinct and accurate description I've gotten yet. Yeah, we are quasi-intelligent, and that is basically what's going on. Yeah.
Is distinct allowed?
In this case, I'm allowing it. Because he called us all arguably dumb, and he's right.
We will argue about that, yes.
I
Which
think
is
I'm
dumb.
certifiably dumb.
No.
Now tell us about the cat.
Okay,
You're
Hubble.
definitely certifiable.
So who remembers Hubble's origin story?
Yes, I read issue 1.
Also, you were there. Well,
He wasn't,
associated.
but...
You know,
So what was
I
the
am
origin
familiar.
story? It's quiz
Bitten
time.
by a radioactive cat. This cat was found by the professional cat finder using nothing but a humble Geiger counter.
Okay,
From
Cookie.
there, they engaged in a widespread career of tomfoolery, including a trip to the vet, which proved near disastrous when they learned that the vet was in fact a veterinarian. You can imagine their surprise.
Okay, so as it turns
Complicated
out...
way of saying cat crawled into car engine, isn't it?
Yes.
No, that was Higgs.
Oh, my apologies. I have mixed the two up and must now go and commit ritual Sudoku.
Sudoku?
The numbers, Mason.
So
Tell us about
I
the
hate
cat.
math.
Okay, that's
Make the numbers dance. I do Sudoku to fall asleep at night.
fair. I do, like, supplements to fall asleep at night. It's kind of like math. I think there's math.
Question.
What?
What is sleep?
That's a fair question.
Anyway, I'm going back to this monster. Tell us about your cat.
Okay, so Hubble was the cat that lovely wife had introduced to her on Higgs' second visit to the vet. When
Oh, yes.
where Higgs had been the one that had crawled up into the engine compartment. And
Higgs, the original trailblazer. And
yes.
Hubble,
And-
the benevolent, malicious sidekick.
So Hubble was the one that the vet came out when we brought Higgs in for his second checkup. And the vet was like, look at this cat. Somebody brought this cat in and said, I found this cat on the side of the road. I thought you could humanely put it down. And then the vet was like, no, go away and leave this cat here with me. And then my wife came in and the vet was like, look at this sad, poor cat. And then she was like, oh, he's sad and poor. And then the vet said, he is yours. And then lovely wife was like, yes, he is. So then I had 2 cats. And now she is mad because they both like me more than they like her. Which,
See,
yeah. Oh, quote time is on us. Quote time is on us.
Quote 2541. Oh no, a sword-based argument. It's like being in the Legion all over again. Neffy, chained echoes. It be ain't.
It be ain't, everybody.
My goob!
His goob. Lovely wife is saying in chat, her thought process was, oh, he is a sad kitty. Damn it, Para's going to kill me.
Para has 2 hands.
I'm not sure what that has to do with it this time. However,
One for petting
Ideal for
each
2
cat.
cats.
Therefore,
Yeah.
you need 2 cat.
yeah,
Exactly.
like I said, she is still irritated by the fact that they both like me more. So,
Does that mean we need 2 cats per person?
God, don't
double
put
cat per
8
cat.
cats on this house. Oh, God, don't do that to me. Oh,
Applicate
As I
cat.
say, that math does not add up.
oh, I don't want that, Matt.
Each
we
cat
have
can be measured in
one
micro
cat
huskies
per
of
person.
drama.
And I refer to this as catpacity.
Mo, you can come in after I tell the Hubble story. Because Hubble was finally well enough today to go and have his Well, let's say that he had a harrowing experience today.
A heroin experience?
No.
What are you giving the cat?
He ate a heron?
He was fixed today.
Oh, ballin'.
I didn't know he was broken.
Not anymore.
Oh, that was terrible.
Yeah.
Does he wear the cone?
He does not wear the cone. However, he is having a close eye kept upon him. But in the process of this, we also needed to look into the whole thing about he's still been having some, well, you might qualify it as cold symptoms, but it mostly came down to being audibly snuffly. So that was investigated today. While they had him sedated, they peered down his terrible maw. And as it turns out, get your handkerchiefs ready. Do you have your handkerchiefs? Red, do you have your handkerchief?
I do. I am ready.
It is possible he was born with this condition. It is more likely that due to his condition when he was brought in, his illness caused this. His trachea collapsed.
Oh.
Yeah, so like if you look down his throat, then you can see regular throat narrows.
Oh.
And does he get a cyborg cat throat?
No, he doesn't get a cyborg cat throat.
But he could breathe lasers.
He could. However, I don't have laser budget.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
So the upside to all this is this doesn't hurt him.
That's
and it's possible he'll grow out of it. It's likely he won't. Now, with all of this said, basically what I now have is this little orange dumbass that is going to sound like a bulldog for the rest of his life. And frankly, I'm okay with that. Like, I grew up with bulldogs, so having a cat that, like, snuffles like a bulldog, that's fine with me. I'm used to the sound.
Yeah. Oh, bless him. He needs extra pets from all of us.
Yeah, they're going to be purring, and then it's going to, like, stutter, and they'll need, like...
Squic, I don't know if you've ever run into a cat that snores.
Oh, yeah, I
have, yes.
They resonate.
Oh, yeah. Now think about it if it's actually a physical deformation. And my lovely wife is letting Red know specifically. I'm not sure why Red specifically. When she went to get him, he was pissed. He was unhappy. Yeah.
Well, at least you knew you were getting a cat who knew his own mind.
Yeah. Now, the other part that makes you want to have your handkerchief nearby is this morning, they were both locked in the garage overnight because he couldn't eat or drink overnight. And you couldn't really separate them from, like, the litter boxes in the garage. And, so Higgs and Hubble were in the garage all night. And then this morning, after I went to work, she went and she got both cats and she let them out of the garage and she caught Hubble and she shoved him into the pet carrier. And then Higgs, who I have never in my life seen react to anything more strongly than food, she put food out for him and he did not pay attention to it because he was concerned with, where are you taking Hubble? Which these two fight as though they are siblings, and now apparently they seem to view each other as siblings. So there you go. There's your tearjerker moment for the night. I guess your second.
They're good kids.
Very sweet.
A pet has been redeemed. Please annoy this creature immediately.
Lovely
I
wife.
am annoying
love the
Anka with my
creatures.
foot.
Excellent.
Oh, so they have come back to you.
They have indeed come back in, and Anka has taken up her favorite position, laying on my legs to snooze.
The best
lovely
nap
wife
is the nap that inconveniences others.
A lovely wife is
Yes.
pointing out it's possible he was trying to figure out why Hubble was not also eating breakfast, but I'm going to stand by the sweet part of this as opposed to the probably right part of it. But
Pet
we'll
cat.
move by. Now, Mo, you had something you wanted to say, so if you'd like to step in for a moment and tell us, go ahead. And I'm going to start with the painting of the thing that I have in front of the camera right now that you can't really see very well is an imp because it's primed black.
Very black. Very nice black. Pip gets upset if we take Ceres or Anchor off somewhere. Hello.
Hear noises. That is a flashlight. Damn it, he's right. Fuck you, Mo.
Well, then tell him to put the coat back on.
That's illegal.
I was going to ask that, but I figured I'd just let someone
One moment,
else.
Mo. I fix.
What has he done? What happened?
Channels at capacity.
There he is.
Do you want me to drop for a minute?
No, he's in.
Oh, cookie fixed. Okay.
I hit my head on the door, and that's what happened.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Good talk.
Very normal.
Considering you're like 7'13", that makes sense.
Well, stop using your feet on the door.
Stop using all 80 of your feet on the door, Mo.
I possess a normal number of limbs. And
I
I'm
didn't
pleased
say
no Mo
anything
does
to
as well.
you.
He didn't pull your chain.
Anyway, what's up, Mo?
No, as for the poor fluffer that has the reduced throat spacing and whatnot, my sister had a football of a cat named Mikey that was this large black mass of just void and eyes. Similar thing, never had a meow, always kick at you. He grew to be, I believe, 28 pounds. So feed that boy protein.
That's a lot of cat.
That is a hell of a lot of cat. That is almost as much cat as Pip. That is almost Pip levels of cat.
That is substantial.
Well, a young Hubble is still only about 8 pounds, but Jesus. We're expecting him to get up to like 14 or 15 pounds. Now, if one of you guys wants to no, I guess you really can't. Never mind. At some point, Aiden has sent us the sound profile of another cat with a similar situation, and I will try to do something with that.
Oh, no, that's cool. What we can do is listen to it and then try and replicate those noises.
Oh, excellent. Mad Ducks, I need you to get on that, okay?
I cannot replicate these noises on account of female voice box, and I know exactly the video this is, and oh god.
I don't. Where is it?
Where did you put it, Aiden?
I DM'd it.
Can you DM it to other people as well?
Yeah, I can't read.
Send me the device.
Yes, give Squic the device.
Also, I will make sure that I realized I have a vial of paint that's still yours. I may have used it up, so I have a new one for you. And I will happily pass along.
Sending me shit. You've sent me too much. Also, I don't know
this
what
one I
paint
accidentally took the last time we were in the same spot.
Well, that's only happened once. It's fine. I have no idea what
It'll be a housewarming gift.
Yes.
Well,
now speaking of things like that, how many of you guys saw the video from Goblin Hobbies?
I did, where
Wait,
they
what?
are hoping to get more shit into stock relatively soon, but then they were also excited about all of the shit because they sold out fucking immediately, and they weren't anticipating that. And apparently,
yeah, they sold out everything in less than 3 days.
Yeah, apparently
This cat
there was
sounds like a congested sumo wrestler.
meow.
That raises more questions, but
I was very, very intrigued by the whole video that Brent and Casey posted, where they're like, "Yeah, this is what happened." And by the way, it was we had as much stock as we had because that's how much my life savings could pay for. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ, Brent, you really took a fucking risk on that, didn't you? But I'm still hoping at some point I can get him on here. But as you might imagine, trying to do all this shit while also being a YouTube personality, a little bit taxing. So I don't.
That is why we need to invent an alter ego for him, where the image is just like his headshot, but super saturated, and we'll put him in pit vipers, and he can be Bront.
As it turns out, he has several times gone undercover and taken on a disguise to enter into painting competitions. So,
Brent's evil twin brother from the future.
There you go. That's what it is. I'm going to have to pitch this to him now. Or I'm going to let Mo do it.
We can provide the pit vipers.
I'm game for it.
Get after it.
I'm all for making it Mo's problem.
Yeah, he's not going to be home until Monday. So next week, I'm intending to follow up with him. And hopefully, before I move, we'll be able to have a conversation with him here on stream, here at WBPL 76. But
I just want to point out that I'm very proud of you. Parallax, ladies and gentlemen, Parallax is actually relocating his entire family so that he can be closer to a Waffle House.
That's true. I will have a Waffle House within spitting distance of my new home.
Yeah, I mean, priorities.
Which
Welcome to the training arena.
Yes.
Oh, which reminds me, Cookie and I are actually going to be within decently close range of a Waffle House this coming week.
Oh, as I remember,
You know what you must do.
I have.
She tells me no.
Always ask
She's
about the grits.
wrong.
Yep.
If you want, I will tell you my. If you're gonna go, I will tell you my super secret
His
Waffle House
super
recipe.
secret. He's never told anybody.
You have told me previously.
No,
I know,
he's never told anybody.
I've never told
Because-
anyone my super secret Waffle House order, which of course is an all-star.
With what?
Which, as you recall, we were going to go to Waffle House when we were visiting you, and you opted out.
Coward.
Where did we? Yeah, y'all went with Italian.
Yeah, we were
Italian
going to go
Waffle
the next
House.
morning.
Oh yeah, did we? Oh,
No,
I don't remember. I'm sorry.
we did not.
We went to Mr. Gaddy's.
Is that a
Yeah,
gun
we went to
range? Because
Yes.
if it's
Pizza
not,
buffet.
someone's missing out.
As it turns out, it is a pizza buffet with an arcade.
Okay,
When I
reasonable.
first
Probably.
started coming over to the US to visit Iden before he made the foolish decision to actually marry me and let me stay here permanently, we'd go to Waffle House before I'd fly home on the morning of my departure. So I have mixed
Excellent.
feelings about Waffle House.
What do you mean you have mixed feelings? It was a wonderful way to send you off. You got.
Did
to
you
have
ask about
food.
the grits?
Did you ask about?
I am very familiar with grits. Iden's family is from the South, and I enjoy observing them from a distance, as one should.
No. Well,
But
I
see,
can't
here's the
have
thing.
them, but
You always ask about the grits at a Waffle House. If they shake their head no, you're not getting grits. If they go look and they come back and nod, you're probably going to have grits. If the cook says, "I'll make some fresh," then buckle up.
that means it's a
Or-
good thing.
What about they just say, we don't carry those here?
Then they're not.
That's
You're not
not
at a
possible.
fucking Waffle House. I don't think I've
Because
ever
the
been.
only Waffle House in Northwest Texas does not carry them.
Yeah, well, they don't count.
They are a front. There is
Fucking-
something going on there.
Fucking
Be
Texas.
concerned.
Fucking Texas, just ruining fucking. I've lived here for 10 years. I still haven't figured out. Texas has this thing about Dairy Queen, and I haven't figured it out. It's just like fucking Texas Dairy Queen, rah.
And
The
Texas,
Texas stop signs?
Yes.
and Texas Dairy Queens has their T brand tacos, and they're very proud of them.
Here's the other thing. Like when I first moved here, and like I had an internet package that came with television, and that is how I'm putting it, because the moment it didn't come with it, I got rid of it. There were commercials that would be on between watching the Travel Channel with my daughter, because that was a thing that she would watch when she was under a year old. And I'm willing to accept that because, it entertained her. Lovely wife, if you're still in chat, then you can remind us of the magic of that. But as we would go through watching that, occasionally there'd be just a Dairy Queen commercial, and they'd always have these fucking jingles on. It was like, DQ, this is the stop sign of Texas. And I'm just like, why? And then, like, Dairy Queen in Texas has shit on their menu I've never seen in any other Dairy Queen.
Yeah, but in the meantime, you've got like Whataburger, which is genuinely like the big staple of Texas.
As long
Does
as you
Whataburger
order...
own a blender?
Yeah. Now, for the record, if any of you are Whataburger curious and you find yourself visiting a location that has a Whataburger, because they don't just exist in Texas anymore. I know that they're in New Mexico,
in Louisiana too.
and they're as far as Alabama at this point.
Tennessee.
I don't think I've seen them in Tennessee, but I am willing to
I have
believe
seen
you.
one in Tennessee.
They're spreading like STD. If you
And
find
they're in
yours-
Arizona.
Jesus. If you find yourself at a Whataburger and you're saying, I want to have the experience of what a Whataburger is, look at the menu and then order something out of the middle of it, because otherwise you're at Wendy's.
Or just
Or
get your
Culver's.
weird, weak burger because you were too great a
It's
coward
one
to
burger.
engage
Just
in the
walk in there
local
and say,
flavor,
"I want a
and you
number," and
demanded
pick
a
a number.
regional delicacy, but without the tenacity required to
No.
find something truly unique. You decided instead to have the perfectly adequate burger when you could have had one that sought the removal of your kidneys in a tub of ice, as is tradition for high-class restaurants.
Indeed. I think I'd call
Is Quick
Whataburger.
describing Jack in the Box?
He
He's
didn't
describing
say.
Flame Burger.
He didn't say anything about getting tacos that have a slice of American cheese in them, so I'm gonna go with no.
Why the fuck does Jack in the Box have tacos? They are universally deplorable. It is a taco-shaped object constructed of cardboard, shame, and grease, where I can only assume it's 60% deep fryer grease remains pulled from the trap nightly, so you can enjoy them for $1 per two, because
The
they're...
record.
I have
We've
one.
got a record.
Tacos.
Anyone standing in defense of them is wrong.
For the record, the Jack in the Box tacos have taken the concept of low quality and pushed the bar even lower.
That's true. That is
I
absolutely
have one word
Cardboard.
that explains all of Jack in the Box food.
Fraud?
Alcohol.
The word don't?
California.
No. The
I'm
problem
gonna
is
stick
you
with
can't
alcohol.
declare California without declaring a region of California, and even then, none of the three would deign to stain their reputation with the flaccid offerings that Taco Bell brings to the party.
Taco Bell?
Well, look, man, I thought tacos, and I was thinking Taco Bell is at least kind of reasonable and crunchy, and Jack in the Box is like, what if we made them floppy style?
You know, for a little
Nobody
bit
wants
there, Burger
floppy
King.
tacos.
For a little bit there, Burger King was selling a thing they called tacos.
Yeah, I know Taco Bell's selling chicken nuggets. We live in clown world.
Now, does anyone still have the chicken breast or that chicken patty taco anywhere still?
The what?
What?
Are you talking about a Double Down? Because that's been a minute.
Look, don't
And that was a
give
burger.
Subway ideas. They're stretching the limits as much as they can today anyway.
Yes, I know where you can obtain such.
Oh,
Subway
so
will do
that still
anything
exists.
except
Okay,
bring
God
back
help
an
us.
affordable sandwich.
Where you take a small tortilla, put some cheese and some other stuff, and then just put a chicken fritter in it.
No, it was actually one of the elementary school patties
Oh no!
Yeah.
cooked, folded, and you had an American slice of cheese, and then insert taco filling
I hate this.
and
Oh, I have
guacamole.
not seen that one.
I hate
Yeah,
this.
yes.
I've seen it where they take the chicken breast, patty like that, and cut it in half and put each half into a tortilla.
Nope.
To make a
No
chicken
tortilla
taco.
involved.
You
Like,
see,
you can just go do crimes at home. You don't have to get a company involved.
I know.
I do actually.
This was at a truck stop.
see,
truck
I
stops are
do-
known for their crime. Yes.
I definitely do the crime side of food things.
Road Ranger is.
I mean, not quite to this extent. You don't. I've never
Although there
accused
is
you.
one truck stop I wish to go back to.
Bucky's.
No, it's place called A Taste of India.
That's a.
And on several
cafe?
of the best ratings for most authentic food, etc., it's always like number 2 or 3 in the country.
That's weird. I mean, I get it.
And
I
it's
get it.
this little tuck stop in the middle of nowhere.
You see, I still remember being in New Mexico surveying and like coming across this place that was just south of Socorro, and I'm trying to remember the name of it.
The Owl?
I don't. No. The town. I'm trying to remember the name of the town, and it was one of those towns that it was the name of a
San Antonio.
Yes, and then they had the best burger in the U.S.
Yeah, that's at the Owl Cafe.
Yeah, and I have been there, and it was fine.
Well, you know why they call it that, though?
No, I don't have a fucking clue.
Okay, then you'll like this story.
Is this about the owl or about the burger? I don't know.
Both. Because the Owl used to be a packaged goods store
Okay.
and dry goods store.
I mean, that tracks.
And
There's
then
like
these-
15 people in this town.
then these hard rock miners
This
who were
also-
coming from across the mountain were coming in hungry.
This all
And
tracks.
so the guy put in a grill. Well, turns out all those hard rock miners were working at the north end of White Sands on the thing called the Trinity Project.
Yup, I know what that.
Mhm.
And so Oppenheimer and all these other guys actually convinced him to make the Owl Grill. And so that's why they call it the best burger, is because it's the burger that fueled the atomic bomb.
Wow.
Yep.
I remember surveying across that
That's
that
one of the
spot.
most American things I've ever heard.
And then they shot guns in the air and said "Yeehaw."
Well, here's the funny thing. The guy who owned the Owl at the time that started it was from Mexico.
That tracks. That absolutely. Now, here's my favorite thing about all of this, especially after Red has said that's the most American thing I've ever heard. Red, what if I told you that this, I hesitate to call it a town because town insinuates a number of people that this place does not have.
There's about 50 there.
Yeah, a whopping 50. Now, what if I told you that within, I'll say 30 minutes. I don't immediately remember, but 30 minutes sounds about right. You would get to the town where Billy the Kid died.
That's over an hour.
It's on just on the other side of the mountains. It's Alamogordo, isn't it?
No.
No, it's not Alamogordo. God, it's been a long time since I've been there. But it's just on the other side of the mountain.
No, you got to go over 2 mountains and through the basin.
Not over the. It's between. I remember this being in the mountain pass between Socorro and shit. How have I lost the name of the one other town in New Mexico that I know?
See, as an English person, I'm used to convergent history being very close together because there's just, so much of it built on top of more of it that just forms the United Kingdom.
Roswell.
And,
It's
and
between
then
Socorro and Roswell.
when you're not paying
No.
attention, you suddenly find out there's a dead monarch in your parking lot, and that's just
I mean,
normal.
that does happen, though.
Fort Sumner is where Billy the Kid supposedly died.
Well, the state memorial signage was like
Is
where it
at Fort
happened.
Sumner.
They had it there between Roswell and Socorro. I remember that because we were surveying just along the center line of this stretch, and it ran right through the middle of the state from north to south. It went from Pie Town to West Texas, and
Yeah, Fort Sumner that road goes through Fort Sumner.
The real way to start a fight in New Mexico: green or red chili sauce.
Christmas.
He says both.
There you go.
I still haven't ever seen a green chili cheeseburger at a McDonald's anywhere but New Mexico.
You won't.
Yeah, it sounds cursed as fuck. Don't let it escape.
It's pretty
It's
good.
delicious.
Yeah,
Maintain
it doesn't sound
containment.
cursed.
I know somebody down in New Mexico. I will have to make inquiries.
See,
You're
I'm
talking to
usually
one.
the arbiter of cursed food. That doesn't sound cursed.
No, it's actually pretty
Wrong.
solid.
Yeah, because you're
Now-
talking Highway 60.
Your scale of curse ducks is a unique and beautiful thing.
Thank you.
It has
I think.
been 13 years since I came through, so I'm going to trust you on this.
But that doesn't go anywhere near San Antonio. That's 380.
Listen, I remember it being somewhere along that line. I thought it was between Roswell and Socorro.
But for me, it was a Tuesday.
For Squic, it was Tuesday.
I
I'm
was
willing to be
I was
wrong.
looking at these maps today because I'm about to drive through some of that.
Wookie, like I said, I'm absolutely willing to be wrong about this.
Huh. I'm just looking
Beware
forward to
of
going and
weather.
seeing ruins.
I remember a lava field.
These are old pueblos and Spanish ruins.
Entirely possible. I'm willing to take your word on this. I didn't have the time to check it out. I remember lava fields and having to survey through them, which isn't fun, as it turns out. Trying to drive a land survey spike into ground that's basically made up out of lava rock sucks.
No, they make dynamite.
I will trade you.
No, I don't know what you're about to come up with, but if it's worse, I don't want
it. You know where I used to be a surveyor, right?
No.
East Texas and northern Louisiana.
Dynamite.
So here's the thing.
I used to survey through swamps to put down pipelines.
Yeah, in my brief time...
Or through swamps to put down roads.
In my brief time as I wasn't a land surveyor, I was a pipeline surveyor. In my brief time as that, I only got to work in 2 places. And when I say got to, I mean was subjected to, because I did not like doing that. I did New Mexico, and I did from very east Arizona to very west Texas through New Mexico. And I did Indiana in December. And between those 2 things, somehow Indiana was worse. Because I would get to the job site in the morning and everything was frozen, and by noon it was like 70 degrees. And it fucking sucked. Because the ground would be frozen when I got there, and when I got done, I had mud up to my knees and was carting around this damn Carhartt coat that was suddenly too heavy. That sucked.
Yeah, I remember one day we were surveying and it was 105, and then it started raining, and the whole place turned into a sauna.
Yeah.
That when it rains, very briefly, it sucks less, and then it sucks 100 times more.
Yup.
It was worse in East Texas than working in the South American jungles.
Red, let me ask you a question.
Go for it.
In your experiences as an adopted American, what's the most bizarrely American thing you've encountered? What's the thing that you looked at and said, Jesus Christ, you think this is normal?
I mean, I can tell you a recent thing that just...
Oh, I'm willing to take a recent thing.
I was angry, but it's hard to say because, of course, American culture is exported worldwide.
Yeah.
So you grow up kind of knowing somewhat of what to expect if you come over here because it's all over the TV and media. And, it's not always fully accurate, but many things don't come as a surprise. But somebody linked me the other day to a short video that they thought would make me laugh. And it was Jessie Cox talking to some woman. I'm not sure who she was. It wasn't somebody that I follow, but I'm sure she's very well known in her circles. And she was talking about, what you have to do to naturalize as a British citizen. And they were joking about something that I got so angry about because it's just so bleeding obvious, and I can't believe anybody would think that this is a weird or strange thing to do.
I'm all ears.
If you become a British citizen, if you change your nationality, if you naturalize to Britain, then obviously you're not going to, swear the Pledge of Allegiance and to the American flag. What are you going to swear to if you want to become a British citizen?
The monarch?
Correct, which the monarch and the crown are one and the same. So you swear fealty to regent and crown, or crown and country, because they're all the same thing, because it's a monarchy.
I too have seen a James Bond movie.
They were losing their minds over the fact that you have to swear fealty to the king and crown.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how is that something you're shocked by? Of course you do. You can't go and say, I want to be a British citizen. I also love the American flag. That's not how that works.
Okay.
I got so unbelievably angry about this level of idiocy.
If I'm completely honest, I thought that this was going to go with I swear to God. I swear to you, that's where I thought it was going. I am sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry.
Now, you see, I still love the fact that historically, because of various things throughout the passage of time, that at one point the Pope gave the monarch of England the title Defender of the Faith, and then a couple hundred years later they're like, fuck Catholicism, but they kept the title. I love
yes,
that.
Because...
No, that was the same guy.
Yeah,
Henry VIII was very, very good at I mean, it happened throughout history. Propaganda is a thing. It's not something new that happened once the media age happened. It's always been there. At least 50% of Shakespeare's plays are propaganda for the current government and pushing a message they wanted pushed. Anyway, Henry VIII
I would
was
actually
really good at
argue with you on
propaganda.
that. I would argue
Go
with
for
you
it.
that isn't so much him making propaganda as much as it is him making things that don't contradict the perspectives of the current monarchy because he doesn't want to die.
As I said, propaganda. It doesn't always have to be you're paid to do it. Sometimes it's because you want to continue living, as Chaucer possibly found out to his detriment in the opposite direction. But Henry VIII was really, really good at what he did. He knew what he was trying to do, and he knew how to sell it
Good
to
at
the
killing
people.
queens.
Yes, he knew how to sell it to the people he needed to sell it to, which was not the people sitting in the Vatican. It was not the people sitting in Europe. It was his own people at the time that he needed to have on side. So by keeping titles like Defender of the Faith, despite saying, fuck the Pope, I'm getting divorced, you're managing that expectation and the loyalty of the people and etc. And, you know, I'm listed as Church of England as my religion. I'm not a religious person. I have literally nothing against people who are faithful, but I'm personally not religious and still happy to be Church of England because, you know, on one side of the coin, Church of England is just the church of, no, we don't want to have to be part of a faith that can control our country from miles away.
I
The
am
church
going to
fuck the
interrupt
Pope.
here as we have swerved wildly from international politics directly into religion.
We have, and I'm not trying to say anything bad to anybody.
And
Just
that's
that, you
fair,
know,
but I'm
things
still
are weird in
changing the
the
topic,
UK.
effective
Go
immediately.
for it.
Squic.
So have you ever been to a gas station where you go into like one of the stalls and there's just a bunch of advertisements on there, and then it turns out they're trying to sell you a suit of plate mail available in like the gas station area?
So
We
on
are
one
absolutely
hand,
going to different gas stations.
on one hand, I want to say no to that. On another hand, yes, I've been to a Flying J.
Circle
Was
K
that Flying
works too.
J? I remember them from like years ago.
Flying J and Pilot are under the same company now.
Okay, yeah, it was a Pilot. They had like 5 different helmets, and one of them tried to cut my face off, and the other 4 didn't fit.
Yeah, that all tracks. Parts of any Pilot or Flying J station are inevitably a China Bazaar. So yeah, is China Bazaar a thing outside of like tourist traps? I don't know.
Yes. We have
Really?
it at our state fair. Yes.
Okay, that's kind of
and Asian malls too, which are wonderful.
Oh, is that like the nunchuck store?
Yes.
One of them, yes. It's called Sparta.
Now I'm thinking
yes,
specifically
Sparta,
China
the
Bazaar.
nunchuck store.
I'm just thinking about. So I don't know how many people in our chat are endemic to a place you would call the American Southeast. Pigeon Forge, Tennessee.
Is
I
that
know
where they make pigeons?
It is not. It is where they make. Well, a long time ago, it was. This is like an artistic community that sells stuff that people might want, and then that was Gatlinburg, and then Pigeon Forge is right next door, and said, "But we have outlet malls." So
I've been to Gatlinburg.
Some year I want to go back there and go to the aquarium.
It's a good aquarium. Ripley's Aquarium in the Smokies. Now,
Ripley's Aquarium or not?
There's also a, believe it or not, and then there's a Hollywood one. And anyway, if you go into Pigeon Forge, there is half the Titanic.
Top or bottom?
I'm not taking
Really?
questions.
I didn't know someone had recovered half of the Titanic.
I didn't say that. It's a Wonderworks. No, the Wonderworks is the upside down house, but there is like some tourist attraction thing. It's like we rebuilt the front half of the Titanic in scale. Come look at it. It's totally a fucking thing. It's the
Okay, but are you sure it's the Titanic and not a replica of the Olympic or the Britannic?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because that wouldn't sell as many tickets.
Probably
Right,
not
but
the
how can
Britannic,
you-
because that was more known for being a hospital ship and had a completely different paint scheme as
And
a
it was
result.
the only one that survived out of the 3.
No, I thought the Olympic was
Yeah.
the one that survived.
The Olympic was the hospital ship, wasn't it?
No, the Britannic was the hospital
Britannic was the
ship
hospital
and was
ship.
spectacularly blown up.
Okay.
Right, so the Olympic was the only one that survived long enough to be decommissioned.
Oh, so they were like,
Yes.
wow, that boat has too many ice cubes. Let's blow it up.
Well, additionally, the Olympic, I forget what river it was
This is
on
such a
when
weird
it
fucking
sprung
show,
a leak,
isn't it?
and it turns out that there was a problem with the bulkhead, and it almost went down like the Titanic. And then they actually had to modify things so that it would stay more above the water than below, if you catch my meaning.
Mm-hmm.
The other
shape.
problem with
Boat
the
sink.
Titanic, Olympic, etc., and other ships of the era was metallurgy wasn't as good back then as it is now, and there was more impurities just in the steel, and ships cracking in half wasn't entirely
We're
unheard
only
of
40
just from being in
years.
cold
Structural
water.
fractures. Yeah.
We're only 40
Well-
years separated from the first ironclad boat, so yeah.
Yeah, well, it also is compounded by the fact that little things like the people that the shipbuilders were paid per rivet.
By the rivet. Yep.
Yes,
Oh.
and yeah, this obviously
What
was
if more rivet than sheet steel?
But isn't this
Oof.
also coming right off the heels of train tracks aren't that important, and if they happen to impale a few passenger cars every now and then, well, that's just modern travel.
Yeah, it's not far from that. It's fine. Everything's fine. No more questions.
It's like, but
And then
fixing it is expensive.
And then the English conquered India by sending river boats upstream with big guns on them.
We
That
did that
happens.
sometimes. I think we were still upset about the Vikings.
It could have been. I just love the fact that, like, I had 2 professors in grad school that one of them wrote their PhD thesis on how did the British Empire come to be, and his answer was they had good infrastructure in the Middle Ages. And then the other one was, oh yeah, they totally conquered India because they had paddle boats. And I'm just like, both of these things are fucking right, and I'm kind of mad about it.
Well, it could be that one of my professors, one of his major fields of study was how they used similar boats in Texas to attack the Texas things.
Yeah. Yeah,
and
it's
how there's actually parts of one close to your house.
Yes. Well, pretty far north of us, I think.
No. Only a few miles from it in the water.
Okay, if we're talking about the Lexington, that's quite a bit later.
I am not talking about the Lexington. I'm talking about one of the Conclads.
Nope, don't know where that one
That's
is.
there on the south side of the harbor. Still in the silt.
Nope, don't know where that one is.
There is not a marker yet. They've been trying to push to have one.
Oh, wait.
But I digress.
Just
For
interesting.
a moment, I got the Lusitania and the Britannic mixed up in my head. I mean, they both did get sunk spectacularly.
It's true.
Oh yeah, one of those was the Johnny Quest ghost boat.
Yeah, just opposing ends of the
The
conflict.
Johnny Quest ghost boat.
No,
Yeah.
let him cook. Let him cook.
Yeah, I'm good.
Like, yeah, no, he's not wrong.
Yeah, remember the one where they were on the ocean? They were like, "Ooh, spooky boat," and then I think there were ninjas.
Are you
Frogman.
sure we haven't strayed into Scooby Doo?
Yeah, it's easy to get them mixed up
he's
sometimes.
I hate the fact that I know what he's talking about in the episode he's talking about. No, he's absolutely on point. Yeah, no.
Walking
okay.
eye.
Now
that's
Squic, I'm
Venture
gonna ask
Brothers.
you.
No, that was Venture Brothers.
I'm
That
gonna
was
ask you a
based
question.
on Johnny Quest, because
It was, but they never called it a walking eye.
they
in Johnny
never
Quest.
called
Sorry,
it
go ahead, Doc.
anything in Johnny Quest.
Squic, I'm going to ask you a question that has no incorrect answer and no correct answer. You're wrong no matter what you answer, even if you answer.
Even if you're
correctly.
right, you're wrong.
Old Johnny Quest or new Johnny Quest?
How new?
You mean Venture Brothers?
No, he means the new
No.
Johnny Quest adventures from the 90s.
Do you mean the real adventures of Johnny Quest?
That could be
featuring
it.
VR and
Old
3DAC.
one
Hey.
or new one?
Do you mean Quest World? Because I think that was,
It was-
Quest
Yeah, just
World.
let
Yeah,
him-
that
let
was
him-
Quest World, the VR bits, and I think I'm forced to pick new because it had less overt racism.
That is true. That is the correct answer. Therefore, you are wrong.
That's fair. It also had autopilot in like a Toyota Tercel.
did. And for
Yeah,
some
there were
reason,
things that made sense if you squinted, and then there was the rest of the show.
and
Look, I was the correct age to watch that in that
Ditto.
I questioned nothing. I was just there for the ride.
the only episode I can remember details from of that show was cowboy bandit woman stealing gold for orphanage.
So,
That sounds right.
listen, the best thing Johnny Quest gave us was Venture Brothers.
That's true.
Shit, he's
But that's
not
because the
wrong.
Venture Brothers is drunk driving between Johnny Quest and Scooby-Doo.
There's probably a few other things thrown in there, but you're not wrong.
It's swerving across 8 lanes of traffic in both directions.
I have long wanted to watch some of the VR scoop, episodes.
It's
but
kind of painful now.
the licensing for all of them are such that they've never released them on anything.
The answer to that question is yar har, but
When you own the right hat, all things are legal.
he's right.
Squic's not wrong.
Okay.
I
Here's
fear
the
chat
herb.
has a comment that will bring
Okay.
us back on topic.
We
They
have
can
a
try.
topic?
We have a topic?
I mean, it's to do with painting, which is ostensibly what we're
shit.
here for.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, we
okay,
don't do
what do
that
we got?
William Desir says, also
Wait, you know this guy,
Parallax.
right?
I do know this guy.
Do you have an
This would
opinion
be-
on this person?
I mean, he was a happy accident and doesn't respect his dad and should carry on. That's fine.
So what you're saying is I should answer his question and not tell him to go fuck himself.
No, he just said something nice.
Oh shit!
said
Okay,
something nice
I'm
as
here
well.
for
In
nice
our
things.
chat?
Yeah, he said,
more
also,
likely than you
Parallax,
might
since
think.
I'm here and my brain is functioning, I want to thank you for some brush recommendations and the wet palette recommendation you gave me a while ago. Been
Fucking
using
A.
the crap out of them recently and they've worked amazingly.
Fucking A. Oh god, I just ran into a thing lately that like it came to me in an Instagram ad and then I tracked it down. It's like fuck, it's real. These people,
Share the first knowledge.
these people, Pro Acro, Monument Hobbies, these people, they just dropped a line of paint like this.
That is what paint looks like, yes.
This is heavy body acrylic. Pro Acro just dropped their own line of heavy body acrylics, and I'm just like, I don't need this, but I do need this.
You don't need this, but you
I-
need this.
Okay, but look, hold on. I understand that though because I have what's called GAS, gear acquisition syndrome.
You also have
Taco Bell.
you also have an acoustic guitar.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. I'm going to sell an electric that I have absolutely no need of. It's gorgeous, but I need an acoustic, and I'm not going to play that particular electric professionally. So I'm
Okay, my arm has been captured.
Meow.
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 Yes.
Will
So-
says, I've been wondering, I have a bunch of their brushes. Is the paint all that good?
Okay,
Ooh, what does it taste like?
okay. So I completely ran over this. Did he have a question or was he just wanting to thank us?
No, he was complimenting you, and now he has a question, which
Okay,
is
so-
the paint that good?
See,
Okay.
that's how they get you. They say something nice, and then they make you work.
Okay,
Dux, I
so
found something cursed. I'm going to send it to you to distract you while he can talk.
okay, so here's what I'm gonna say. While I've got you, I have 3 brands of paint in front of me right now. I have, and, if I really tried, I probably have more. But realistically, I have 3 in front of me. I have, let's grab one that actually has the branding on it that doesn't say BattleTech on it. Shit, is that
Battle paint.
Battle Paint. Okay, we'll just grab that because it's no, actually everything that I have here from Army Painter right now says BattleTech on it. We'll just take that. Okay. This is Army Painter. This is the new Vallejo stuff. Coincidentally, this is also the new Vallejo stuff. They just have 2 different lines. One's game color, one's model color. It's the same formula. They're just different color lines. This is Pro Acryl. All 3 of these now are solidly great paints. Solidly great. This is the old stuff from...
And if they're solid, have you jiggled them?
I have. And then it
Nice.
gets better. This is the old branding on Vallejo stuff. It was fine. The new stuff is on level with the Fanatics and probably Pro Acryl. All of these are phenomenal paints. They are just... I haven't tried the new P3 stuff. I haven't tried the Duncan Road stuff. I can tell you, outside of Citadel, these are the 3 brands you are likely to find if you go to random hobby store. At this point, Vallejo is in most hobby lobbies that I've run into. And I actually found Game Color in a hobby lobby recently, which surprised me because it's always been Model Color before. They are still cycling out their old formula stuff and slowly getting new formula stuff in. All of these are great. I like Pro Acryl because if you just take one bottle of either of these other brands and you compare it to this, these are roughly the same price. The Pro Acryl is 22 mils for a bottle. The shit, does it not say it on here? It used to say it on here. Okay, the Vallejo and the Army Painter are 18 mils to a bottle, same price. Both phenomenal quality. You get a little bit more paint for your Pro Acryl. Pro Acryl has a staggeringly large line of colors, as does Army Painter, as does Vallejo. They are all phenomenal. They are, in my opinion, they are all better than the shit you can get from Citadel. I am talking about their basic acrylic lines. I'm not talking about their speed paints, although I do like the express paints from Vallejo and the speed paints from Army Painter. I think they're all great. Pro Acryl does not have a line like that. I am led to understand Pro Acryl's washes are really good. I don't have any of those. They recently dropped a line of fluorescent paints. I don't have any of those. I can't speak to that. The one other brand that I use regularly is not miniature paint. It is artist grade paint. This is Golden. Golden is a company that, obviously they make paint. They're employee owned, all that shit. This shit's not cheap. I want to throw that out there up front. This is artist grade paint. So when you have carbon black, it is because it is single pigment. Carbon is the color. This is chromium oxide green because chromium oxide is the thing that gives it its color. These tend to be a very small number of pigments in a paint, which means that they are very vibrant. They mix well. They don't have anything in them, so that if you take this green and you mix it with something else, something like a yellow or whatever you happen to have, it's not going to desaturate because the colors you have are basically yellow and green, and there's no fillers in there to change the tone, which is the thing that gets you desaturation in your paint colors. There.
But how does it taste?
I am not tasting artist grade paint because a lot of times those colors come from things you call heavy metals.
That rocks.
Yeah. So I don't lick my brushes after I use cadmium red because I don't need heavy metal poisoning in my life.
But what if it's tasty and it's the big secret that Big Paint doesn't want you to know?
A Big Paint does not convince me to give myself heavy metal poisoning. That's where I'm going to stand on that one. This is not one of those things I'm willing to joke about because you will fucking die. Or if not die, you will have a very bad time.
It is the bone hurty juice.
It
says
is.
Trent.
I wish to respond, but all of my responses are super dark and arguably funny, but not that funny.
Troa is asking, do I use alcohol-based paints? Generally, no. Alcohol inks have their place.
Yes.
What?
Generally, no, but admirably, yes.
Fucking shit. Alcoholic inks, alcohol-based paints, they have a place. It is generally not in the same usage case as acrylics. Alcohol inks are really good for tinting resin. You can use those for even like 3D print resin. You can add it to it, and it's great because you put the pigment into a resin, you mix it up, you get the pigment in it, the alcohol sublimates out of it. You get the color in your resin, then you can print with it. You have whatever that color is. It's phenomenal if that's what you want to do. Also, again, it tends to stain rather than have a heavy pigment and opacity to it. So if you just want to get something like that on it, to where it's like, oh, I want it to just kind of have that tinge to it, alcohol inks are good for that. Also, alcohol inks are the kind of things that you get in Sharpies. So If you like get Sharpie on your hand, just use hand sanitizer. It'll come off because it's alcohol based. There we are. Are there more questions about paint? I can always answer paint questions. Try to anyway.
Do you want to explain what ASTM1 rated paint is?
I don't know what that is. Would you care to explain?
Okay, as the lovely vial of black that you had there and the 2 vials of purple I had in front of me, ASTM1 guarantees that it will not fade for 100 years because of the preservatives and the ionization that the molecules and pigmentation have in it.
Okay,
Therefore,
so
do not dye your
have
insides.
backing that guarantee.
Yes.
Archivist ink. Gotcha. Or archive level.
Yes.
paint.
No, like if
'Cause
you
you
go
just-
in and it's been 97 years and it's like, this is faded like 3 degrees of blackness. Like, if their company isn't there, whose ass is there for you to cash the check against?
Find their estate.
Yours. It's yours, Squic. They're coming for you.
They'll have to catch me first.
Ah! We got him.
Oh no, my organs.
His organs. Okay, we are almost out of time. Red, what's the accent color on this jade mech?
Falcon.
Huh?
Say black.
Part of me wants to be annoying and say gold. Part of me wants to go opposite
Yellow.
side of the color wheel and say red. But I think a nice green. You should go with a nice green.
A nice green. How nice of green?
Yeah.
Like, what tone of green? I have a couple of green options. I have like olive drab kind of green. I have green.
No. We need to be like somewhere. Oh, yeah, okay, that is a nice tone of green.
I
A
have.
brief
Is a nice
interruption
tone.
for the imparting of information to chat.
Okay, what?
Lord Troa. They make brush soap.
Who make
It's
brush
weird
soap?
and it's cheaty. Internet
He's
commerce
curious how and
website.com.
when and why.
Okay, brush soap. This is the brush soap I like. I have used other brush soap stuff you can get fucking every. I think I saw this shit at Walmart.
Good lord, how
recently.
much brush soap do you need? You could
I-
like soap
Mama.
a horse with that.
I don't need this much. It's gonna last me for fucking ever.
You could shampoo a substantial portion of a barnyard.
Could I sham wow it?
I think they might bite you.
It's possible. Now, this is Yasonia. It's a J. Joe Sonia, if you want. Joe Sonja. I like this. It's liquid. It does a good job. It's a conditioner. It's a soap, etc., etc. The thing that you can find fucking everywhere at this point is this thing called the Masters, and then it's like the Masters brush up. It's fine. It's fine. It's a solid. It does the job. It's fine. I like this better. It's easier to use. I don't have to like swirl water down into it for a while before I can use it. There's also one from Monument Hobbies makes one. It's that unicorn soap or something. I don't know. I don't remember what it's called. I haven't tried that one.
Jen's Fabutastic Brush Goop.
There you go. I haven't tried that one. My understanding is that it's basically what you get if like you take the Masters brush soap and then add enough water to it to actually make it a suspension as opposed to a solid. I don't know.
Yes.
Haven't used it. This stuff is a gel. It's like a liquid. There it is. That's what it looks like. And all I do is like brush. And until there is no longer, in this case, the color green in the brush. And then I rinse it out. Get that off my hand. Get a
This
little...
also doubles as a hand soap for parallax.
And sure. Gets the soap off, gets the paint off. And then I can get a little bit more on it, shape the brush, and then put it up, and it'll hold the point, it'll stiffen it. Basically, it doesn't make the brush like new. I don't buy into that one, but it does help. So there you go. Now you had said green. Did you want green or green?
I mean, mint green or a really bright turquoise would work.
Okay, so it's already turquoise. Let's be like this is
it's
turquoise.
probably brighter than I'm seeing it. So fair.
Yes, it is.
Mint green.
Okay,
Mint
so,
green.
Let's see. That's a little better. For some reason, the color balance isn't coming through quite right. But I was using bright jade. This is turquoise. The difference is pretty fucking narrow.
Yeah.
But
A mint green or a sage.
mint green.
Right.
Let's see. Okay, so I've got
I'm
Doug, what color is
expert on
that bright
all of these
jade?
things.
Bright jet. It's almost indistinguishable from the turquoise.
The mech on the screen is blue.
It is.
Thank you.
It is turquoise. It is jade. It is not quite. It is greenish blue.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going for Tennessee Titans or Seahawks colors. Got it.
That
I
Pro
mean, we
Acryl
don't
you
have
just
any
pulled
blue
out,
on
that
here.
green's nice.
What's that?
The Pro Acryl green you just pulled
Okay,
out. That looks
that is
nice.
just green. It is green.
Yep,
Green.
just green. There you go.
Just green.
Just green.
Green. Now, for the
And
record,
that reminds me, I've got to go shopping for some turquoise.
like turquoise or paint. You are in the right place for
Turquoise.
turquoise. Okay, so just for everybody that's interested, the chromium oxide green, this is God, the color balance is just not coming through, but you can see that they're different, that this is green and this is green and they're different greens. This almost looks like blue on camera, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
That's
It has
weird.
got some blue tones in it.
Let's see if I can fuck around with my camera shit and see if I can get that right, because the white balance must not be on.
Correct.
That way. Where the? Nope, that's the wrong way. Okay, actually, that's closer. Let's back it off.
Oh, that's very.
Oh, wow.
That's pretty close to the
Ooh,
actual
sepia
color.
tone.
Yeah, there you go. That's pretty close to the actual colors.
There we go.
I like that split pea green of the golden.
This one? Yeah. So, Red, actually being able to see the colors now, which one do you want?
I still prefer the Pro Acryl, but by all means, both will work.
That is a very pretty blue Flashman.
Mm-hmm.
I do like the Flashman.
Aiden is pointing out the fact that I'm actually paying attention to the painting, so I'm not commenting on.
His nonsense.
Apparently, there is.
Whose nonsense? Which
Aiden's
person?
nonsense.
Ah.
I haven't
Yeah.
looked
Also, eye break, water break, pet,
Oh, shit.
stretch, and posture check.
My
Posture,
cat
I
has
have
abandoned
rotate
me.
stretch. That's part of the posture check. Water.
My cat has abandoned me,
where's
and
my
I'm happy
tea?
to stretch.
That has
but
been pet.
Pet. Okay,
Um,
we got the pet covered.
I've got the eye break cover because my eyes are thoroughly broken.
That's true. His
I
eyes
will
are
drink
broken.
this liquid I found in a can.
What kind of can?
Ooh, tea.
What kind of can? Oh, that's right. He's been drinking an energy drink, and it's almost 9 o'clock in his time zone.
Carbonated water, citric acid, and a variety of artisanally created
Oh, they're
questionable
artisanal.
items designed for human biology. We promise.
Also cats.
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 I
Kit-
do not believe most of the tiny knife-footed chaos goblin race would react well to the introduction of a casual stimulant.
They do need the taurine, though. Their bodies can't produce the taurine that is a necessary nutrient.
All I'm
Yes,
thinking
Cookie.
for Squic
We
is-
continue to see that you're professing your desire to have comment on my favorite paint, but I don't believe it is time for that tonight.
Oh God, are we back to the apple barrel? Is that?
She has been sponsoring such for
I am glad you're happy with the apple barrel paint. Boots with the fur. I'm sorry.
Stay a while and kitten.
I can't put up with the craft paints for this kind of stuff anymore, just because of the size of the pigments, and like I perceive a difference in it. If you're happy with it, by God, do it. It's $1 a
I
fucking bottle.
perceive the difference. I am in the midst of making a video on how to paint a lance in 10 minutes.
That's, if that's what you're going for, if you just need paint on mech, go for it. If you are happy with the finish that you're getting on it, that's great. Go for it. You being happy with what you have at the end of it is the important part of this. Having fun with it, having some level of fulfillment out of doing it, that is all phenomenal. That's the part of this that matters.
I am doing this because A, I enjoy it, but B, mostly because several local game shops have asked me to, because they're having trouble having people come in and just pick up and be table ready.
Yeah. And table ready, if we want to take someone came up with the definition of table ready. Of course it was fucking Games Workshop, but their definition is not an awful definition. They say 3 colors on the model. Cool. I've got 3 colors on this model. This is a model that you can do that with. That's fine. Now, who wants to see me do the thing with this that looks like, oh God, why would you do that? And then I take the stuff off of it and it looks better. Who wants to see that?
Go for it.
Okay. This
Begin
is
the
a KFC container
demonstration.
that says reusable on it. I've been reusing it now for like 2 years. It's great.
I'm
This
frightened.
is oil paint.
Bum, bum, bum.
Yes.
Yes.
This is mineral spirits, odorless, comma. This is the brush that I use exclusively for oil paints.
Yes.
We get it good mixed up so it's real thin. This is the model I've been painting, and this is how I just put shit all over it. You can use this thicker if you want to. I find that that's not necessary. Just throw it all over. It's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Just fucking do it. It's going to look like it ruins it. It doesn't.
Parallax brand null oil, folks.
No.
Para oil.
It is now
Paraoil.
available for lubrication.
No further
And
questions,
other
please.
purposes.
It is not a personal lubricant. Do not use this as a personal lubricant. I'm not taking questions on it this time.
Kindly do not use the heavy metal sauce as sex juice. I regret this sentence immediately.
And you know the
Nobody
great
quote
thing
that.
is the great thing is somebody's going to clip that. So
I'd
there's-
rather they didn't.
well,
I'm drinking more good ideas liquid. I possess a blender.
You're drinking something.
you know, the interesting thing is the energy drink is giving you more bad ideas than the alcohol usually does.
Well, yeah, but you see, the energy drink gives you, the goofy juice makes you goofy, but the energy drink makes you dumb faster.
What if?
I mean,
I was
that's my
about
whole
to say,
thing.
what if you mix them, and then I remembered like Four Loko was a thing 20 years ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the whole thing. I'm not a smart person, but I am clever, which is
I
much worse.
would like
it's
to-
just stupid faster.
I would like to point out that I have been arguing with Squic about this for 2 years, that his definitions are dumb and that he is smart.
That does not follow available evidence.
No, that's okay.
How it depends on a definition of wordplay.
Yes, and your definition is the definition that suits your purposes, and Squick are smart, and chat will reinforce that because
I wrote a
If I may
stage
interject,
for
Do it.
about puns.
I have to say this as a public service announcement because one of my bosses nearly died because of drinking nothing but Monsters and Crown for a day while going around
Jesus
Disney.
Christ!
Wow.
What if
He and his
liquor and
wife drank probably 10 plus each.
I appreciate the dedication. It's a bad idea, though.
that is a
Explain the
phenomenally
size
bad
of the
idea.
crown. 10.
A shot or two of per can.
Okay, for
Good
crown, I assumed
Lord.
10 bottles of and from their associated baggie. And it's like, no.
For the record, chat. Not only do we not endorse this as an idea, don't fucking do that. There's a reason Four Loko is not on the market in the manner it was before. How many people have
Is
ended
it
up
because
sick or
people are
dead
dumb?
from using heavy metal paints for body paint for costumes? I can't answer that question, Basar, but don't fucking do that either. Don't do
Yeah,
that.
The Tin Man
don't
from
do a
Wizard
lot
of
of
Oz had
things.
problems with that.
Yes, you did.
Guys, you got to understand, our audience is small but dedicated, which means that if
Occasionally
any of you
radically
manage
dumb?
to stupid yourselves into the hospital, we have less audience, and
That's
that's
true.
bad because we like hanging out with cool people, and you're all cool. So don't dumbass your way into medical attention required.
Don't dumbass your way into
alcohol
that.
and
We need cool people. And
caffeinated drinks do not go well when you're in summertime in Florida.
yeah, the other
Drink
side
water.
to this is that you used to run into a lot of I'm mixing Gatorade and just clear corn liquor, and sports drinks are one of those things where they are designed to have very fast uptake in your bloodstream. So doing that with alcohol, it's going to get you blitzed really fast, but also it's going to get you alcohol poisoning much, much faster.
Wait,
So-
are you suggesting I could boof Gatorade to sports more better?
Do not
Do not
boost the
Gator clear.
Gatorade.
What booth Gatorade?
Do not do the gator clear.
Squick, I have seriously drank 2 gallons of Gatorade in under an hour and turned my skin pale white while working a state fair. Do not do that.
Wait. What is pale white?
Canadian.
My complexion went to sheet of white bleached.
Now, you see, that seems like what you just described was white. Because I'm not sure you can be more pale than white.
Oh, you can, but you have to be like an anemic Victorian child,
or
who has been sentenced to the countryside
like
air.
close to transparent.
Are you potentially? Are you a friendly ghost?
Yeah, I was levels of Casper.
Okay, there we go. We have now settled
One of my
it.
good friends. Well, he is whiter than notebook paper.
I mean,
kind of
I own
notebook?
some pretty jank notebook paper.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what kind of notebook? Is this like a 5-star situation or like a Walmart special?
Like a
Lisa
5-star.
Frank.
Ooh, that's a nice shit. Okay.
And he's from South Florida.
Florida has a south?
Yes, it does.
It has a south and a further south. It's the wang of the continent.
Yeah. So the counterpoint to
Wang
that
Chung.
is there's an awful lot of very pale white people in South Texas, and the reason for that is air conditioning and fuck the sun.
Oh no,
I
this boy
would
worked
rather
outdoors.
Do not put your dick in the sun.
Look, I'm not going to boof the Gatorade so I can fuck the sun.
This is a weird conversation.
Hey
guys,
no,
I'm going to take off some of this oil paint now because I have a makeup sponge here that I have soaked in mineral spirits, so it just takes this shit right off, and then you end up with what I'll show you in an instant. Well, I dropped
So you
that
gotta
on
hit
my
it with a
palette.
squeeze peanut?
Yeah, you gotta hit it with the squeeze peanut. And
So-
Mad Ducks is gonna tell us something now.
No, well, so the Aux the other day, the Aux, I love the Aux.
What is the Aux?
Wonderful place. The Auxiliary is a Discord server that you can join, but the odds of anyone here not being in the Auxiliary by now are diminished.
Let's just pretend they are being visited by
But if
time
you would-
travelers.
Or
If you
a
would
ghost.
Join
like
the
a
Auxiliary.
Christmas
Be
ghost.
a part of our community, which is probably not good for your sanity, but here we are. You can type !Discord, which someone has obviously already done. But-
Actually, yes.
Couple
Night
of
Owl.
people did.
Night Owl did it. Mo
I
did
thought
it.
being
Mo did
there
it.
was actually good for your sanity, so you actually found compadres.
You find your fucked up tribe. That's what we are. We're fucked
Yeah.
up.
Oh yeah, plus
Yep.
there's a newsletter.
There is a newsletter. I think
It's
I
on the
actually-
internet.
It's true. I think I took off a little bit of my gray paint with just abrasion.
Oh,
So be careful when you
excuse
do this, and usually let the paint dry before you get at this. But
Be careful when you do this. I will not.
Oh, is this how Gilly gets those really nice black bold lines on his panels?
it is one way to do it. Yes. So there, that is very quickly how you would do this. Really, you need to let all of the oil paint dry before you do this. But we're already past 11 here in the Central Time Zone, and I need to get this done quickly. So there you go. That's how you get that effect. It gives you a nice weather, and I'm taking more paint off there, so I'm going to stop. But yeah, it gives you a nice weathered effect. It gets down in all of your panel lines and all that shit, and stays in the
It looks
recesses
great.
because your sponge can't reach it there. There you go. Oil wash.
Excellent. I think you came
Very
out right.
nice. So, Para, you got that done in just over an hour. Nicely done.
Well, I wouldn't say it's done, but it's okay. It is solidly okay at this point. And
Yeah, it's better than I could do. And I'll grant you that's a low bar, but I still might like it because it's good.
I know the show you could watch to learn how to do this shit.
And what is that show?
The Joy of Painting. Bob Ross. That
Fair
is
enough.
not the show. That is not the show.
So,
Bob Ross
Para,
uses
if no, now you have to get like one of the giant blocky mechs and just put a sunset on it.
fuck.
Happy little trees.
Happy little.
Give me a
It's
sec.
and-
stepping on happy little trees.
Like
Give
a
me s-
goose.
I don't have a goose. What do I have? Okay.
We can make you a goose.
I could get the goose. What is it?
My
the,
favorite
the
Stretch
goose
your
Hydra
meat.
list.
Tall geese.
tall goose.
I don't have a tall
Wide
goose.
goose.
I've been looking for a
Wide
tall
goose.
geese STL mini. That's not like $20 for a little bit now.
If somebody gets the parts to print a tall geese. Like,
No, you do
Yeah,
not give
any of
them
the
to me.
three.
Somebody paid for those. Some artist made that. They are asking
no, I'm
money
saying
for
if
it.
somebody like 3D prints some, like send me a couple of sets. I'm not asking for STL files. You know, I would
Good.
do that. I even
Yeah.
somebody told me not to pay for his files, and I still bought one, and then got him to put a pith helmet on the file because it was funny.
That is true. And then every time you've said, "Hey, file," I've thrown it at you so you don't spend money on it.
Thewumus has demanded we all stretch and redeem some pets.
Stretch.
I'm
will
going.
find the
Enhance your
potato.
meat and begin the petting.
I am going to go.
I am petting the
AFK.
baby.
And
I am squanching her face.
Squanch.
She is
Oh.
squanched.
Okay, here we go. We're going to do this real fast. Like, it's purple. We're doing purple. It's a sunset, guys. Sunsets are purple.
Yeah.
Okay, so there you go. There you go. There you go.
All right, have fun, Cookie.
This is a cataphract,
Bye,
by the way.
Cookie.
This is the
Okay.
White Rook cataphract. He made this
Okay.
because I bullied him into it, and I said, "You need to make a mech." And he's like, "Oh, what are you gonna make?" I said, "You can make a cataphract." And I already made a Caesar, and I said, "No, make a cataphract." And then he made a cataphract, and he did a good job on it. There we go. Okay,
Nice.
purple. The color up from purple, we're gonna go with this is burgundy, so kind of purpley red, and then we're gonna do proper. This is red oxide, so red.
Rockside.
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 Ba-dum-bum.
So just to remember, public service announcement: do not pilot a Caesar in March.
What?
Unless
yes,
you
yes.
wish to become one with the salad guy.
That's true. He was Mexican, and he made a nice salad using anchovies.
Mexican.
Mexican.
I'm about to have to leave because I have consumed too many liquids to.
You
stay here
also
much
are going to have to be up in like 3 hours because, frankly, Duck, sometimes your job sucks. I saw what you were doing today, and that sucked.
So the fun part about that was there's no access up there. You have to get on top of cabinet, move and disassemble drop ceiling, and then when you stand up there, while I am not particularly tall,
He is
nor
not. I can
particularly
vouch
short,
for him not being tall.
I am at average height for someone as tall as I am.
Yes, that
That
is
tracks.
to say short.
And the only way to get up there is to pretend that you're 25 again for at least a few minutes. Stand on tiptoes, grab jack rafters that you can just barely reach, jump, pull yourself up, and then walk up a stud. And
Then
pretend.
discover that it's 2 feet on center.
I hate walking on 2-foot centers. Yes, you can cross the place more quickly, but it's kind of herky jerky.
Herky jerky.
It's-
Herky jerky, everybody. There you go. Sunset. Sunset on a cataphract. There you go.
It's fast and
I
it's
call this
classy.
sunset on Cataphract.
It's not good.
And
I just need to make that clear. It's not good.
yeah, but would you call that table ready?
No.
It's
Because
3 colors.
it's
5
several
colors.
colors at this point.
Hey, you know what? I know this is going to be okay, so my standards are
Different.
but I have something that cheered me up.
What's that?
Now I realize that this is
I hope it's cat.
venturing into duck lore, but
Ooh, duck lore. We're getting the deep duck lore.
so while the best possible cereal is Frosted Mini Wheats,
That's not true, but okay.
Wrong.
you're entitled to your opinion.
That is a
and I
weird
don't
way
care.
to say peanut butter crunch.
Every one of you are entitled to your opinion, and I don't care. But Frosted Mini Wheats, while they are the best cereal, the very close second that I can never afford because it costs like $6 a box, Raisin Bran Crunch was on sale today. If you use the app thingy at the Crochet for
How
$2.50.
fucking old are you that like Raisin Bran is the best?
Raisin Bran Crunch.
That is a
Crunch.
totally different vibe.
A completely
He's
separate
not
beast.
wrong.
It's got granola in it. Raisin Bran, not good. Raisin Bran Crunch, second best cereal.
There we go.
You can disagree with me. I don't care.
No, I'll give you that one.
Those the
but
ones with the raisins wrapped in almonds?
No,
Wait.
those are the ones with raisin, the flakes, and granola in it.
You know the weird thing is this looks better on camera than it does in person, I think.
It looks
Fair
better.
Seas has a comment, and you should read it.
Wait,
Oh,
what?
God.
Fair
I
Seas.
rotate.
29
thanks for the,
months of painting. Oh, wait. Squic's going to read it. Squic's going to read it.
29 months of painting.
rubbing the Nuln Oil on our gums, wrestling, games, bad jokes, good jokes, jokes about jokes, free corn Thursday, snake eaters,
Snake
and
taters.
groan bones.
That says snake taters.
Well, perhaps you should look into the recipe, Mr. Not Me Man. 29 months of madness with the best community channel I've ever watched, much less participated in. 29 months of side corn, 29 months of rough seas, and I'm still here to see it, or co-host as often as I can be. Image of Diggs.
Image of Diggs. Titicus Urbanicus, thank you for the bits. Pharisees, you might be a little bit biased, but thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Pharisees, for 29 months here at WBPL 76.
All right, WBPL 76 now featuring 30% more absolutely free. That's more content per content, so you don't
WBPL
have to.
6 in the morning.
Morning, afternoon, there's a show at all hours if there's a show at the hours you want.
If you bug Kai long enough, he'll do one at 3 in the morning here in the East Coast. And it won't be at the East Coast time for him because he's on the other side of the fucking world.
Woo!
It's 11:20 here in the Central Time Zone. I need to go to fucking bed because I have to work in the morning. Yeah.
So long, and thanks for all the brain cells.
We don't have many of
All
those. So,
the fish.
so sad that we're so fucking dumb. Yeah.
That's shockingly common problem.
I feel like
across
the collective
human
brain
sphere
cell
of
just
influence.
flipped off.
Yeah.
It has made a variety of gestures. Some of them
So,
have been
yeah,
rotated.
we're gonna end here. I'm gonna give everybody a chance to say something.
While it is true that the opportunity has presented itself, what we have here is something of a conundrum, with no individual party willing to take the first word for fear of it being
Quick
their
said something.
last. This then becomes a self-demonstrating article as we continue to plow forward on into morning, not through the process of continuously broadcasting the waveform, which your technological device allows you to reconstitute into that which sounds very similar to human language, but languishes within the uncanny valley. For though you have heard, you have not yet seen with your ears. That is the power of Goob.
Yes.
Yes.
It is goobtastic.
Very standardized.
I just didn't want everybody to hear nothing but beagle balking, to be fair.
They will pay for beagle barking.
They were yelling because Dad committed the sin of taking the trash out and not being in the same building as them.
How dare?
Fucking dare.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when I move, I'm gonna have a dog. I'm glad you
I
understand
wish to
that.
see this animal.
I think I've already sent you a picture of Bella.
I have seen this animal. It
I
is a
have two
lovely animal.
eyes.
She is a King Charles Cavalier Spaniel.
Yeah.
And a cute
Does
little
that mean
baby
they
to
like
boot.
ride on another dog with a tiny saddle? And they have,
Given the
like, a
opportunity,
spear?
I'm sure she would. Okay, so other people say things.
If people are around tomorrow in the afternoon, I'm probably going to be inventing more war crimes on Shoal.
And you're gonna
Heck yeah.
work on that crab mech, right? So I can
Yes,
model it.
I do need to finish drawing Benny so that you can finish modeling it. That
Yes.
needs to happen.
You have seen the progress. Do you want to tell anybody about the progress on it?
I've actually shown people on my stream the progress
What have they?
because
oh,
it was
God.
too cool to keep to myself, and they loved it.
Good.
Everybody
us
was
about the
very
progress you
excited
have
because
shown.
crab.
Good. Other people say things.
I look
Ladies and
forward to working on Secret Project 2025 and 2026, and I leave you with this last final message. Dommy Mommy Squic.
God damn it.
No.
Merlin, go ahead.
Infinity Gimlet, when you
Thanks.
get to this tomorrow, you know what to do.
Ladies
Now
and
we get to go
gentlemen,
on archaeological digs.
How do we not have a
Ladies-
picture of Diggs wearing like an archaeology outfit yet?
it probably exists. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us and for spending your time with us. Time is one thing. You only get to choose what you do with it once. You can do something later, but you have chosen to spend your time here with us, and that means a lot to us. Y'all are awesome. You are our community. And by God, we're all weird. Thank you for joining us. And I hope y'all have a great night.
I agree.
Why is chat filled with buttholes again?
That happens. No further question.
Because Dummy Mommy Squick.